My grandfather awakened an S-class calamity beast, the amethyst spirit dragon, and my grandmother awakened a double S-class divine beast, the emerald serpent. Yet, in this world where everyone awakens powerful beasts, I ended up with a run-down, broken house that has absolutely nothing to do with monsters.
Just as the entire school's teachers and students were laughing at me, calling me a useless piece of trash,
A voice suddenly echoed from that house. Congratulations! You have awakened the Temple of the 10 Calamities.
By passing the 10 trials, you can awaken the 10 ancient primordial beasts. And today happens to be the awakening ceremony at Singhai Monster Academy.
Right then, a young woman with a stunning, graceful figure walked up to the awakening platform.
She was none other than the school beauty and my girlfriend, Lu Rian.
As she gently placed her hand on the awakening stone,
A blinding, dazzling light suddenly engulfed the entire arena. Everyone gasped in shock. With this kind of pressure, she's guaranteed to be at least an A-class.
She might even reach S-class. As the light on the stage began to fade,
Lu Rian transformed into a majestic, deer-like spirit beast.
it was indeed the S-class Azure Fettered Spirit Deer, a legendary top-tier healer of the support class. The entire crowd erupted in sheer excitement. Everyone knew how insane the healing power of an Azure Fettered Spirit Deer is on the battlefield.
They are highly sought after by every elite guild.
Awakened ranks are divided into 7 tiers, from D-class all the way to triple S-class. Reaching A-class is already a genius.
But an S-class? That makes you a true favorite of heaven. They are guaranteed to join one of the top 4 elite guilds in the future. As for triple class, they are national treasures. Not to mention, triple S-class beings are practically legendary. So right now, Li Ruan's future is absolutely limitless.
Just then, Li Ruan started walking over to where I was standing. She looked at me with cold, indifferent eyes and said dryly, "Good luck up there."
Her tone made it obvious. Her attitude toward me had completely changed.
I simply nodded and walked up to the awakening platform. I placed my hand firmly onto the awakening stone.
Suddenly, a dark, gloomy phantom of a grand palace manifested in the sky, hovering right over my head.
Wait, buddy, did you wander onto the wrong set? Everyone else is awakening beasts, and you ended up with a house? Talk about ridiculous. What's worse, this house is only a low-tier Earth grade.
He's completely useless now.
Get him off the stage. Next!
The crowd erupted in endless waves of mockery and laughter.
But as I stood there, my expression turned incredibly strange, because inside the palace, several glowing lines of text appeared. Congratulations on binding with the Temple of the 10 Calamities.
Complete the 10 trials to awaken the 10 ancient primordial beasts. First trial, initiated.
Please, swallow the awakening stone in front of you within 1 minute.
Failure to do so within the time limit will result in mission failure,
And the temple will automatically unbind itself.
Upon success, you will pass the Ultra Triple S-Class Touty Trial of the 10 Calamity.
The host will then be able to transform and wield the devourer power of the Touty.
I was stunned. Looking at the head-sized awakening stone in front of me, I fell into a heavy silence. Meanwhile, downstage, Principal Jinping Tao ordered the dean beside him. Don't let this waste of space drag things out any longer. Strip him of his exam eligibility. Expel him and kick him out of the dorms immediately.
Then, make sure he pays back his overdue tuition within 1 month.
Otherwise, let the law deal with him.
The dean nodded and walked over to me.
Tango, I have something to tell you.
Since you haven't paid your tuition for a whole year,
The school has decided to expel you. You must pack your things and move out of the dorm within 1 day.
And you must clear your outstanding tuition within 1 month. Otherwise, we will turn you over to the authorities. With that, he slammed the expulsion notice into my hands.
Just then, Lu Rian also walked up to me. Tengai,
I happen to have something to tell you too.
I have awakened an S-class beast, but you? You only awakened some useless Earth-grade junk.
We don't belong in the same world anymore.
Let's break up. With those cold words, she turned her back and walked off the stage. But right then, the chilly voice of the 10 Fiends Temple echoed in my mind again. Only 1 minute left.
Host, please complete the trial immediately. Otherwise, the 10 Fiends Temple will automatically unbind. Hearing this, I didn't hesitate.
Under the shocked gazes of the crowd, I grabbed the awakening stone and shoved it straight into my mouth.
Everyone who saw this was completely dumbfounded.
But at that moment, my consciousness had already entered the 10 Fiends.
Hall, a vast empty space, engulfed in a sea of stars.
In the distance, 10 giant stone statues stood shrouded in darkness.
Suddenly, the eyes of one statue flashed with a terrifying crimson-red light. The next second, a blood-red beast as colossal as a star stood tall in the middle of the galaxy. The beast had the body of a sheep and the face of a human. Its eyes were located under its armpits. It had sharp tiger-like teeth and human claws. Its entire body was covered in blood-red patterns, blazing like the fires of hell. A suffocating, malevolent aura radiated from its massive scarlet eyes.
Then, the beast let out an earth-shattering roar that shook the entire universe.
It opened its massive maw and took a deep breath.
And then, a jaw-dropping scene unfolded. Stars across the sky were violently pulled by an immense suction force, hurtling toward it.
All of them plunged directly into its bottomless, abyssal mouth.
The starry sky, stripped of its starlight, instantly plunged into pitch darkness. Seeing this, I was utterly shell-shocked. Devouring the stars, spitting out the moon. It feeds on the sun, the moon, and the very stars themselves. Is this the Super Triple S-Class Great Calamity Beast? The Touty. To think I actually awakened such a legendary, peerless divine beast.
Just then, the Touty's crimson eyes locked onto me.
It opened its massive bloody maw and lunged straight at me.
At that exact moment, a rush of information flooded my mind. Ding! Congratulations on completing the first trial of the Touty. You have obtained the power of the Touty. The host can now transform into the Super Triple S class Great Calamity Touty and inherit its innate talents.
Talent number 1, infinite devouring. Everything in heaven and earth can be food for the Touty. Once consumed, it is converted into pure energy, nourishing your body by 100%.
Talent number 2, infinite plunder. Steal the talents and abilities of others to make them your own.
This can only be used once. The victim will permanently lose that talent.
However, the target's strength cannot exceed your own by more than one major realm.
Talent number 3, Tyrant's Wrath. The Touty enters a state of absolute bloodthirsty fury.
Your attack, defense, and recovery abilities will skyrocket by 10 times.
As long as the enemy lives, the battle never ends.
But beware. This talent places an immense toll on your physical body.
Use with extreme caution.
After reading through the talent details, my eyes widened in utter disbelief. These talents are absolutely dominating.
Just then, the voice of the 10 Fiends Temple echoed in my mind once more. Ding! The first trial of the Touty has been completed.
We now issue the second trial, Devouring of 10,000 Beasts. Successfully devour 10,000 bronze-level beasts to complete it.
Upon completion, you will inherit the Touty's ultimate skills. First, the heaven-devouring divine spear.
Second, the Crimson Hell Cage.
And third, the underworld fiend blood flame. Meanwhile, below the awakening platform,
our school principal Jin Pingtao rushed onto the stage, his face flushed with rage. What are you all standing around for? Hurry up and call the police. Get the military law enforcers over here right now. This kid destroyed the awakening stone. He is going to prison for this.
But right at that moment, I suddenly snapped my eyes open and got back on my feet.
Ah, you're finally awake. Let me tell you, this awakening stone is worth 5 million.
You must. But the moment Jin Pingtao locked eyes with me, a sudden wave of sheer terror seized his chest. He was actually terrified, completely paralyzed by my gaze.
In the next split second, a surge of crimson blood enveloped my entire body. A terrifying, sinister aura began to bleed into the air.
It choked the room, forcing everyone to hold their breath in fear.
This energy was simply too violent, too savage. It felt exactly like standing face to face with those feral monsters in the wasteland ruins.
Then, with an earth-shattering roar that shook the entire hall,
the crimson flames slowly dissipated. Standing before them was a towering, blood-red figure. This figure was over 3 meters tall,
its entire body encased in black and crimson armor. Intricate patterns, resembling a burning hellscape, were traced onto the armor with bloody flames. Right on its chest sat a ferocious beast head, with its eyes tightly shut.
This is my awakened Great Calamity Beast, the Touty. Normally, when a beast is awakened, there are 2 distinct forms, the beast form and the human form.
On the battlefield,
the human form does the actual fighting and killing,
while the beast form is mostly used for support.
Right now, everyone watching is completely shocked and curious.
They are shocked by the sheer power of my awakened beast's aura.
But they're curious because they've never seen a beast like this before.
And its rank is completely unknown.
My homeroom teacher, Huang Jishan, is in disbelief.
Even though he's a B-rank beast himself, he feels suffocated just standing near me.
Which means my beast's rank is definitely above B rank, maybe even higher.
He quickly turns to Principal Jiminta and asks, Principal, look at this. What should we do?
Hearing this, Jin Pingtao speaks up. Well, since Tiangong has awakened,
and it looks like he's awakened a pretty powerful beast, there's really no need to expel him anymore.
But our top priority right now is to test and find out Tiangong's rank.
The problem is, the school's awakening stone was just eaten by me.
Left with no other choice, Jin Pingtao is forced to call his rival and old friend,
wanting to borrow their academy's awakening stone.
Once I power down and exit my transformation, I can already see right through the principal's snobbish mind. Since you decided to kick me out, there's no way in hell I'm staying at Singhai Beast Academy.
But just as I'm thinking about this, a massive shadow of a giant dragon sweeps across the sky, blanketing the ground in darkness. Everyone around gasps in shock. It's the mad-horned Vorn.
This high-tier flying beast is known as the ultimate ace pilot of the skies.
Which big shot just arrived?
How did a simple student awakening attract a gold-tier powerhouse?
Suddenly, 3 figures leap off the Vorn's back, landing heavily on the ground.
Even the Vorvin itself transforms into a middle-aged man and steps down.
These are the deans of Hurricane Beast Academy,
Ziyin Beast Academy,
Bihai Beast Academy, and Jingfeng Beast Academy.
The 4 deans walk up to Jin Tentao, carrying a massive awakening stone. Hey, old Jin, we brought our awakening stone. This is the absolute biggest one we have. Way better than your cheap little rock.
Gyungtao sports. Please, you old geezers. I can hear your little schemes from a mile away.
Just hand it over.
Jin Pingtao takes the awakening stone from the 4 deans and places it onto the altar.
Then, wearing a fake, friendly smile, he says to me, Qinggan, I won't hold the fact that you swallowed our school's awakening stone. I've managed to get you a brand new one, right here.
Go ahead, put your hand on it and let's test your rank.
And seeing how impressive you are, I've decided to officially withdraw your expulsion.
But hearing this, my lips curl into a cold, mocking sneer. I'm sorry, Principal, since you already expelled me.
I have absolutely no intention of crawling back to Shanghai Beast Academy.
What? You're not staying?
Jin Tao's face drops instantly. Tingang.
Our Jinghai Monster Academy is the absolute best academy in the entire Jinghai province.
We can give you the absolute best education and resources. Don't throw away your own future.
But I completely ignored him.
Instead, I just repeated what I said earlier. Fine. I hope you don't regret this. With a grim expression, Qingtou stormed off to the side.
My 喉咙击锤，黄吉凶，望太伯之举.
But Qingtou cut him off immediately. Mr. Huo,
Our Xinghai Academy is not some cheap, desperate school. First of all, we don't even know if he's actually in S-class.
and even if he is, we aren't short of geniuses. We have absolutely no use for someone with such trashy character. The moment he said that, the four surrounding deans immediately began fighting over me, laughing out loud.
Young man, if your principal doesn't want you, we certainly do.
Join our Hurricane Monster Academy.
We only have 2 S-class students.
The resources you get will definitely be massive. Come to Redbud Academy. We only have 1 S-class student. You'll get an even bigger share of the resources. Our Blue Sea Monster Academy doesn't have a single S-class student.
The entire academy's resources will be poured directly into you.
We guarantee you'll get the absolute best results.
Join our Yingfeng Academy.
Even though our school already has 1 S-class, we are the academy with the most beautiful girls in the entire Xinghai province.
Didn't you just break up?
Come to our academy.
And you can take your pick from all the gorgeous girls?
Watching the 4 deans fight so fiercely over me, the other students were completely stunned.
Yun Kintao's face grew even darker. What are you all fighting for?
What's the big rush?
Let him actually test his grade first.
It's hard to say if he's even an S-class at all.
At that moment, my gaze fell upon Liu Rian standing below the stage. I couldn't wait to see the look on her face once my actual grade was revealed.
The moment I placed my hand onto the awakening stone, a blinding light instantly lit up the entire hall. In the very next second, the awakening stone actually shattered into pieces. Everyone gasped in pure shock. You have to realize, the awakening stone was built to withstand talents all the way up to S-class. For this to happen, it meant my talent was far beyond scarce.
In the history of Xinghai Monster Academy, an awakening stone had shattered only once before. Exactly 30 years ago, that student had awakened a double S-class beast, the Empyrean Azure Dragon,
Sending shockwaves through the entire Jinghai province.
a top-tier monster university in the magic capital, immediately sent recruiters to snatch him up.
And upon graduation, he joined the Sacred Legion of the military without having to take a single exam.
Later, he broke away from the Sacred Legion to establish his own, becoming its supreme leader. That legion was at the absolute peak in the entire Great Summer.
Today, within the military, he is a world-shaking war king with supreme power.
His name is revered by everyone in Xinghai province. Go Yumo, leader of the Heavenly Fetter Sacred Legion, and one of the 36 war kings of Great Shao.
Right now, Yu Ruan stared at everything unfolding before her eyes. She couldn't believe it at all.
Her knees buckled, and she collapsed straight onto the ground.
Seeing this, the deans of the other academies
Grew even more aggressive in their scramble to recruit him.
He is actually a double S rank. This kid is ours. Hurricane Academy is taking him. We don't even want those other 2 S ranks anymore.
Exactly. If you guys don't want them, we at Blue Ocean Academy don't want them either.
I'll go back right now and make every single student repeat a grade for a year and pour every last resource we have into Tiangang alone.
How can you two be so ruthless?
Although we at Redwood Academy can't go that far.
I'll take out my son's wedding fund to buy resources for Tiangang.
We at Yingfeng Academy have plenty of wealthy benefactors. As long as you join us, Tiangang, they will give you more money than you could ever spend. As the 4 great monster academies fought tooth and nail, they didn't notice Jinping grinding his teeth so hard in regret they were about to shatter.
Don't get ahead of yourselves.
Across the 72 provinces, whenever a genius above S rank appears,
It must be reported to the military first.
the military will bring their official awakening stone to test the exact rank. Besides, there is a high chance he won't even need to finish school. He'll be recruited directly by elite universities.
Don't end up fighting over nothing and going home empty-handed.
Hearing this, the 4 deans looked at Jimingta with utter disdain and snorted.
So what? As long as he's registered under our academy's name, it's completely worth it.
A double-ranked genius graduated from our academy? That prestige is exactly what we are after. Isn't it only because your Xinghai Academy produced Guillermo back then that you've been looking down on our 4 academies all these years? Keep dreaming.
I have already reported this to the military. They will be here very soon with the official awakening stone to measure his precise rank. What if he turns out to be a triple S rank?
Are you going to sell your entire academies to afford him then? At this moment, Jinping was practically dying of regret inside.
If only he left himself a way out.
Meanwhile, Mo Richin, head of the Xinghai province military, suddenly stopped his pen.
What did you say? Xinghai Monster Academy has produced an awakener above rank?
And the 5 deans are requesting to use the military's awakening stone?
Yes, sir.
This is the news just in from the Storcy Monster Academy.
It's absolutely true.
The deans of the other 4 major academies are all present as well,
And it's being live-streamed to the entire Kwanzaa.
Hearing this, Motruten opened the stream and stared at me on the screen, lost in thought. Taingan, why does the kid look so familiar?
Sir,
Qinggang is indeed the son of Luo Wan and Leng Qingxin.
Mo Rutian's face tightened in shock. 3 years ago, Luo Xuan and Lin Qingxing were on the casualty list of the Battle of Anshenju's destruction.
The two of them were once exceptionally outstanding warriors of the military, especially my father, Luo Xuan.
Before that battle, he had already passed the assessment for the Crimson Holy Order, one of the 4 great holy orders of Great Shao. He was so close to joining them and skyrocketing to the top. But tragically, he fell, just like that. Back then, Mo Rutian had wrung his hands and lamented in deep regret for a very long time. So it's him. Quick, bring me the Awakening Stone. This time I must personally go to the Storcia Monster Academy. But just then, a faint chuckle echoed from outside.
Mo Rutian froze instantly.
He rushed out of the room. High in the sky, a massive Worven was vigorously flapping its wings.
Its colossal, sky-blotting shadow engulfed most of the military base. 2 tall, upright figures stood proudly upon the Vern's back.
The moment Modren saw those figures, his face paled with shock.
He immediately bowed respectfully to the middle-aged man on the Vern's back.
The newcomer was none other than Gushimo, one of the 36 war kings of Great Saoya.
He smiled faintly and said, "Commander Moss, it's been a long time."
He gripped the shoulder of the young man beside him and leaped straight down from the Verven's back.
Mo Duchen looked up at the young man standing next to Yumo.
We haven't met since our parting 10 years ago, and I never got the chance to seek guidance from you, War King Gove. May I ask who this is?
Good Yumo smiled faintly. This is my son, Guin Zhao.
He just finished his awakening ceremony last month and awakened a double S-rank monster. I saw that he was unsatisfied and feeling quite down, so I brought him back to see the place where I once grew up.
This brat grew up in the imperial capital.
His mother spoiled him rotten. He's always had his nose in the air. It's about time he lowers his gaze to see the real world. So what if it's doubles in rank?
Talent only determines your baseline. But can it ever determine your ceiling? My son, the son of Gumo, shall never be mediocre.
Hearing this, Mo Rutian was utterly shocked.
Is this the level of expectation the Imperial clan has for their direct heirs?
20 years ago, after Gumo married the eldest daughter of the Qing clan, one of the 5 great clans, he settled down in the imperial capital.
The Qing clan of the imperial capital is a legendary family in Yanxia. Their eldest daughter, Qi Nanlan, has 2 younger brothers who are military garrison generals,
and an older brother who is a military warlord.
The Qing family boasts 2 generals and 1 king within a single generation.
And now, with Guyumo added to the family,
that makes them a family of 2 generals and 2 kings. Even Elder Qin himself is ranked among the 9 heavenly kings of Yanxia. That means he was born into an absolute titan of a family.
It's only natural for a family like that to hold Guling Yasao to such high standards.
Just then, Guyumo asked,
"By the way, did you just say that the Starcy Monster Academy has produced another genius who awakened a double S-class monster?"
Mo Rutian replied, "Yes."
But he is no longer a student of Starcy Monster Academy.
If you're interested, War King Gu, we can talk about the details on the way and go take a look together.
Jumu nodded. Then let's take my divine horned wyvern.
I captured it in the ruins on my way here. It's barely passable as a ride, but it'll do. But Mo Rutian was left in utter disbelief once again. You must understand. The Divine Horned Voran is classified as an S-class beast in the Monster Codex.
Its power is at the Sapphire rank, which is on par with his very own strength.
In the military, a beast of this caliber would easily rank as a commander. Yet before Gyumu, it was nothing but a cheap ride.
Meanwhile,
due to time constraints at Starcy Academy, the rest of the awakening ceremony was postponed until the afternoon.
After witnessing my performance, Lu Ruan felt incredibly bitter.
She walked right up to me and said, "Taigang, I've been thinking. Honestly, we both acted a bit too impulsively this morning. If you just apologize to me, I can forgive you, and we can keep dating." Hearing this, I was speechless.
I didn't even bother to reply,
and just kept eating my lunch as if she wasn't even there. But after waiting for what felt like forever and getting no response, Lu Ruan snapped, shouting, "Tangang, I'm talking to you. Can't you hear me? Why are you ignoring me?"
at this point, Lu Ruyan found it completely unbelievable.
Normally, the moment she opened her mouth, I would instantly know if she was thirsty or hungry, and I'd immediately rush to satisfy her every demand. Why did it feel like I had turned into a completely different person today? I just don't feel like wasting my breath on you. Do you seriously need to ask why?
I replied, my voice dripping with utter disdain.
Fuming with rage, New Ruan wanted nothing more than to turn around and walk away. But the moment she thought of my incredible talent, she just couldn't bring herself to give up. Fine. I get it now.
江阳，有着北陵米府贵情奥赋一屠夫王者。
Are you giving me the silent treatment just to get my attention? You're a grown man. Do you really have to be so petty? I already told you. As long as you're willing to apologize to me, I'll take you back.
So, why on earth should I apologize to you?
Did I do anything wrong? With that, I picked up my food tray and turned to leave.
Seeing this, Lu Ryan shrieked, "Stop right there!"
Daliang, are you seriously refusing to get back with me? This is the only chance you'll ever have to be with me in this lifetime.
If you throw this away, you're losing me forever. Hearing that, I paused for a brief second, then turned around. Some people might actually want that trash, but personally, it just makes me sick. With that, I walked away without once looking back. At my words, Liu Ran was so utterly consumed by rage that she blacked out right on the spot. By the time the afternoon's awakening ceremony rolled around, a highly comfortable lounge chair had been set up right next to the awakening stage. And there I was, lounging right on it, while the 4 deans served me hand and foot like loyal servants. One was fanning me, another was serving tea, one was massaging my shoulders, and the last one was rubbing my legs. I was living like an absolute king, completely at ease.
When Jimintou saw this,
He clenched his teeth so hard they nearly shattered.
Ran Qishong, the homeroom teacher, crept over and whispered, "Principal,
Were you really not going to try and win Kangam back?
win him back? My ass.
if you're so capable, why don't you go over there yourself? Look at how insanely arrogant he's being. Do you honestly think he'd pay any attention to us? It's all your fault. Why didn't you notice his talent sooner? Your performance bonus for this entire year is completely gone." With a furious storm of his sleeves, Jin Pingta stormed off.
Hearing that, Quan Zhisheng was left standing there, utterly dumbfounded.
But right at that moment, a sudden violent gale swept across the sky.
An enormous shadow, massive enough to blot out the sun and moon, loomed over the Starcia Monster Academy. Everyone couldn't help but raise their heads to look up.
That's the S-Class Divine Horned Wyvern.
The headmaster of Hurricane Monster Academy went pale with shock. Right then, 3 figures leapt down from the back of the Vorman, and when everyone saw the face of the man leading them, they all gasped in utter shock. It was Gu Yumo.
Battle King Gu.
Gumo slowly shifted his gaze onto me, sizing me up from head to toe. "So, I hear you dropped out of Shanghai Monster Academy.
That was a bit reckless, don't you think?
It's never a good idea for a young man to throw away his future.
I have a general idea of what happened. Honestly, both sides are at fault here. Just apologize to each other. Don't, and let's just let it slide. You can go back to study at Shanghai, and once you graduate from college, you can join my Tinyu Holy Corps." Hearing this, everyone around me grinned with envy. You have to understand. Getting Battle King Gu's personal approval was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but I didn't even hesitate. I rejected him flat out. There is no way I'm going back. I refused to re-enroll. Instantly, everyone in the room froze on the spot. Even Gu Yumo stared at me in absolute disbelief. After all, for the past 10 years since he became the Battle King of Yanxia, his word was absolute law. No one had ever dared to say no to him. Like Luming. Do you even know what you are saying?
I can write this off as a moment of youthful impulse.
Now, I will give you one more chance. Hearing that, I replied coldly. No need. Battle King Gu, there is absolutely no way I am going back to Shanghai Monster Academy. At that moment, Goyomo's face finally darkened. Seeing this, the headmasters of the other 4 monster academies instantly lost all interest in me. Think a thought. A double-class genius is just too extraordinary. Our Hurricane Monster Academy isn't worthy of you, and we at Zijing feel we're a bit too low profile for you as well. Since they don't want you, we at Pihao will pass too. Besides, our Yingfeng Academy is moving toward becoming an all-girls school, so we won't be accepting any more male students. At this moment, I had become like a piece of poisoned gold, extremely alluring, but no one dared to touch me. Nobody wanted to offend a Battle King, let alone the powerful Qin family backing him. Yet, even facing their rejection, my expression didn't change at all. Instead, I calmly walked over to the awakening stone brought by the military. As I placed my hand on the awakening stone once again, blinding, brilliant light suddenly flooded the entire arena. My body transformed uncontrollably into the legendary Taudi, unleashing an earth-shattering roar. In an instant, a brutal, ancient, and bloodthirsty aura swept through the entire room. A crushing pressure suddenly washes over the crowd, leaving everyone gasping for air. Even Yumo's heavenly Azure dragon is completely suppressed by the beast I'm awakening. Standing 3 meters tall, I look like a terrifying god of blood. Seeing this, Guyumo's face pales with sheer terror. She can clearly feel the raw power surging from my awakening. It is vastly more powerful than when she awakened her heavenly Azure dragon back then. It even completely eclipses the aura of her son's awakening from a month ago. There is only one explanation for this dominant aura that forces every other beast to submit wholeheartedly. The beast this young man is awakening isn't just double S rank, but the legendary, mythical, triples rank. This is a peak level talent. So rare that you can count the number of people who have it in all of China on 2 hands.
Anyone who awakens a triple S rank can unconditionally join the 4 great sacred regiments of Yanxia.
Compared to those 4 great sacred regiments, what is her heavenly sacred regiment even worth? As the ultimate guardians of Yanxia, the 4 sacred regiments operate independently from the military, answering only to the sovereign of Yanxia. They don't even have to answer to the 9 heavenly kings themselves. Gyumo is absolutely shell-shocked. She actually misjudged him so completely. Around the stage, the other students are falling to their knees, completely helpless to resist. It is as if they are bowing down to pay homage to the imposing figure standing high on the stage. This is the absolute suppression of the Taudi. An ancient, pure-blooded, catastrophic divine beast. Lu Rian is forced into a half-crouch, glaring up at the stage through gritted teeth. She clenches her jaw, desperately fighting the urge to fall to her knees. Beside her, the deans of the 4 major beast academies and Jinping Tao are doing the same. Every single one of them is struggling, pushing themselves to the absolute limit to stay standing.
though their sheer strength allows them to resist the overwhelming urge to kneel. Their bodies are shaking violently, and their eyes are filled with pure, unadulterated terror as they stare at my blood-red silhouette.
Lian's face is twisted in agony.
It feels as though her spine will be violently snapped in half if she doesn't yield.
Finally, she reaches her breaking point. With a heavy thud, she collapses onto her knees.
She is forced to bow down to the very simp she had always looked down on. Right then, I can feel a strange force from the awakening stone, still probing deep into my soul.
If it reaches my inner core,
My true beyond triple S rank will be exposed to the entire world.
that would be a complete disaster.
If the world finds out that Yanxia has birthed a genius beyond the triple Steph rank, not only will the beasts in the wilderness hunt me down, but other nations will do whatever it takes to eliminate me. In an instant, I'd become a massive target for the entire world. Sensing the danger, the devouring power of the Toddy instinctively swallows the remaining energy of the awakening stone whole. It is shielding my true potential. At that exact moment,
Far beyond the defensive walls of humanity,
a colossal beast, standing tens of thousands of feet tall, suddenly crashes heavily to the ground.
it is a massive golden-furred giant ape, and on its head glare 6 blood-red eyes.
This is a Tier 3 gold jade beast, a true king among monsters, the six-eyed ape. Just then, a man steps out from the beast's carcass. A silver spear rests casually on his shoulder, while his other hand holds a screen, watching the live awakening ceremony of Singhai Monster Academy. He dials a number and says coldly, "Notify the recovery department of the Holy Order. Come pick up the carcass of this six-eyed ape and stop sending me after every random piece of trash. They're too weak. Killing them is a total bore. My time is precious." "But, Deputy Leader, aren't you returning to headquarters? Go back? For what?
It's incredibly boring there.
I heard a triple S class genius just popped up in Xinghai province. I think I'll go pay them a visit and have some fun. After all, they're just like me. And geniuses are always so lonely." The armored man laughs heartily and hangs up. With a powerful leap, he shoots into the sky and vanishes into the horizon. This man is none other than the deputy leader of the Tenji Holy Order, one of Yanxia's 4 great holy orders.
He is also the youngest deputy leader in the country's history,
And the awakener of the triple class beast, the 9 Heavens Silver Dragon.
举枪啦！明瓦拜克军海卡的。
Hiwumo says calmly. That should be enough, right? Tingang. It's time to rein in your aura. How much longer do you want everyone kneeling to you? Without a word, I withdraw my pressure and shift from my beast form back into my human form. Count. I'm really curious. What kind of beast did you just awaken? I've never seen anything like it in the monster archives. Hiwumo presses for an answer.
I reply calmly. Itati.
Gujimu's interest is piqued. Atati, you say? Could you tell us a bit more about this beast?
This is a monster never before seen in human history.
It holds immense research value. I narrow my eyes, remaining silent, because in this world, disclosing your beast's details is considered highly offensive. It is equivalent to exposing your own traits, strengths, and weaknesses to the entire world. Yet here is Gumo, demanding I expose my beast right in front of everyone. His intentions couldn't be more obvious. But just at that moment, a booming voice echoed through the sky. "If you want someone to introduce you so badly, why don't you bring out your heavenly Azure dragon and introduce that first?" Right after, a figure dropped from the sky, slamming onto the ground.
The crowd instantly went wild at the sight.
It was none other than Chang'an, vice commander of the Crimson Holy Regiment, one of the 4 great holy regiments. Incredible! Is a powerhouse like him here for the Taiyang as well?
Although Yuchan was only 30 years old
And held the military rank of only a tactical general, his strength was on par with any active duty battle king. Furthermore, holding the position of vice commander of a holy regiment meant that not a single battle king dared to underestimate him. This was why he didn't have to show any respect to Gumu, a battle king backed by the powerful Qin family of the imperial capital. But Guyumo merely sneered. "Yichaman, I heard the holy regiment assigned you a mission. Aren't you neglecting your duties by showing up here in Xinghai? Aren't you afraid Commander Ningsheng will whip your ass?" To him, He Chao was nothing but a junior. Yet, in just 10 short years, He Chang'an had managed to catch up to his 30 years of hard work. So, Guyumo had always despised Ye Chang'an, and the feeling was completely mutual. He Chang'an always saw Guyumo as a pretentious, hypocritical sellout who married into the Qin family just for their status. Neither of them respected the other. "You don't need to worry about me, Great Battle King Go. I finished the Holy Regiment's mission ages ago."
It was just a 6-eyed Vajra of the gold giant 3rd realm, wasn't it?
One thrust of my spear and it was dead. It was incredibly pathetic. Wait, if I recall correctly, that 6-eyed Vajra's power level was about the same as yours, Battle King Go. Oh, my bad. I certainly didn't mean to compare you to it, Battle King Go.
Please, don't take it personally.
Kaha, his voice dripping with sarcasm.
Gayumo's face instantly turned cold. No need to apologize.
Being in the Gold Jade 3rd realm was last year's news. Ah, I see. So, would it be more accurate to say that I skewered a 6-eyed Vajra that was just slightly weaker than you with a single strike? Does that sound about right? Hearing this, Vuyumo's face turned as dark as charcoal.
Yi Chang'an, isn't your holy regiment supposed to be busy?
Why exactly are you wasting your time here? Oh, nothing much. Just a magnetic pull of mutual respect between true geniuses. Aye, Yi Chang'an.
Love making friends with actual geniuses.
But I absolutely despise fools who try to play the part. Yumo's face turned even uglier when he heard that.
It was obvious he felt this guy was throwing shade right at him. Suddenly, with a flash, Yi Chang'an appeared right next to me.
He casually threw an arm around my shoulder like an old friend and said, "Hey bro,
There is a really impressive aura about you.
Let's be friends.
I'm Yi Chang'an.
I'm 10 years older than you. If you don't mind, you can just call me Big Brother Check-in. Your name is Chen Gang, right? Then from now on, I'll call you Brother Tian."
Feeling a bit awkward, I scratched my head.
All right, nice to meet you, Big Brother Chang'an. Right then, Yu Chang'an scratched his head, looking a bit embarrassed.
Actually, I'm not really great with words.
Anyway, why don't you join our Tian's Holy Order? I happen to be short of a friend right now. In a few years, once you get stronger, you can spar with me every single day. How fun would that be? After all, no one in the Order can beat me right now, and our commander is just way too strong.
I don't feel like getting pulverized by him.
Brother, I've got high hopes for you. Give it 10 years, and you'll definitely surpass that freeloading son-in-law.
Yi Chang'an, pointing his thumb back at Gumo.
Grigoa was shaking all over with absolute rage because being called a freeloading son-in-law was his absolute taboo.
Gumo came from humble beginnings.
That was why he chose to marry into the imperial capital's wealthy Qin family.
And it was solely by relying on the Qin family that he was able to become the war king of Yanxia so quickly.
I'm in your superior. The military hierarchy is strict and absolute. I am the war king of Great Xiao. By insulting a war king, I will personally arrest you right now and suspend you pending investigation.
Yet, Yi Chang'an couldn't have cared less.
Curling the silver spear in his hand, he pointed it right between Yumo's eyes. Bring it on. Do it right now. I dare you to arrest me. While you're at it, I'll officially initiate a rank challenge against you. Do you even have the guts to accept? Fu Yulo's expression turned incredibly ugly. He wanted nothing more than to slaughter Yi Chang'an right then and there. But looking at that cold, deadly spear tip, he ultimately had to back down. Coward. I just love how much you hate me. You can't do a single thing about me.
Ye Chang lets out a cold sneer.
Seeing his father humiliated like this, Gling Shao completely loses his temper. Deputy Commander Yi, what is the point of you insulting my father like this? My father only tolerated it because you are a junior, and he didn't want to lower himself to your level. Don't you dare push your luck. When adults are talking, since when does a mere child like you have any right to speak? Shut up!
Yu Chang'an's gaze turns ice cold.
Fing Yao instantly feels as if he has been plunged into a freezing abyss. He shivers with terror, immediately shutting his mouth. What's the matter? Scared?
When you were all ganging up on Tiangong just now, I didn't see you shaking like this.
Yi Tongjian's piercing gaze sweeps across the crowd. I watched the entire live stream, and honestly, all of you make me sick. Since when did the high and mighty figures of Yanxia become a bunch of spineless, bootlicking sycophants? Are you really enjoying licking Yumo's boots that much? Our 4 great holy regiments fight tooth and nail outside the walls. And this is how you ungrateful bastards repay us? It is precisely because of parasites like you that Yanxia has rotted into this pathetic state. I have only one thing to say today. I've always had high hopes for Tiangong. Back then, when his parents joined the Crimson Holy Regiment, I was the one who personally evaluated them. His father, Lo Wanshuan, was a man of immense honor and character, and I know for a fact his son won't be any different. None of you want him? Fine, but my Crimson Holy Regiment does. I, Yu Chang'an, am making this clear to everyone here today. From this moment on, Tiangong is my sworn brother. Anyone who dares to lay a finger on him will have to answer to my silver dragon spear. With a sudden wave of Yu Chang'an's hand, the silver spear in his grasp shoots into the sky like a streak of lightning before slamming violently deep into the ground. In an instant, the entire room falls dead silent. Everyone shrinks back in terror, with no one daring to utter a single word. At this moment, Guillermo glares at Chang'an, his eyes filled with absolute venom. This is the first time he has ever been so utterly humiliated in public. But deep down, he knows he doesn't have the confidence to actually fight Yi Chang'an. In Yanxia, a replacement challenge allows a lower-ranked person to challenge their superior. Kujuma has the right to refuse the challenge, but he escapes and loses. He will lose his title as the Great Shabwa King because, to be honest, he didn't have the absolute confidence to defeat Great Saya's youngest vice commander. But right at that moment, several figures suddenly appeared in the sky above Xinghai Island. When the crowd saw who it was, the whole arena exploded with excitement once again. That's because these 4 were all legendary. Household names in Yanxia. They were the presidents of the absolute top universities in the country.
Dawn Monster University,
Magic City Monster University, Imperial Capital Monster University,
And Zhenhai Monster University.
and just for me, the 4 of them had actually come here together today. Something like this was incredibly rare in the entire history of Yanxia. Even the legendary Gu Kumo didn't get this kind of treatment back in the day. This just proves that the value I've shown is already far beyond anyone's wildest imagination.
Tenggong, I am the president of Magic City Monster University.
our university sincerely invites you to join us.
As long as you choose Magic City.
Monster essence, potions, weapons, beast souls, whatever you want. Just say the word and we'll make it happen. Oh, please, step aside. As if our Elven Monster University doesn't have those.
Tenggong, if you come to Elven,
I'll personally make sure you get a weapon forged from diamond-grade monster armor.
And diamond-grade monster essence blood. You old geezer. Are you trying to start a bidding war here?
Come to Genhai Monster University, and we'll hand you an entire diamond-grade monster carcass.
All the processing materials fully included.
Plus, we'll throw in 10 extra vials of energy.
Poachers, now, come to Imperial Capital Monster University.
Sure, we might not have as many flashy items as them, but we recently acquired the carcass of a scarlet jade gray monster.
We forged a beast jade from it.
Which contains a skill that I think is perfect for you.
If you join us, that skill is yours.
Right then, the presidents of Yanxia's top 4 universities started fighting over me like crazy. The other students could only watch, completely dumbfounded.
Forget about scarlet jade grade. Even diamond grade was a pipe dream to people like them.
Yet all of this was mine to the taking, with just a nod of my head.
Talk about a massive reality check.
In this era of monsters, almost every resource humanity has comes from the monsters themselves. Every single part of a monster is a treasure.
Their essence blood can refine your physique,
And their armor plates can be forged into powerful weapons.
For instance, Yu Changhan's silver dragon spear was forged from the carapace of a black jade-grade monster, personally hunted and slain by the commander-in-chief of the Tianqi Holy Knights.
A monster's bones can be forged into a beast orb. Within each beast orb lies one of the skills the monster possessed during its lifetime.
Meanwhile, beast cores are packed with massive primal energy and can be used to craft awakenings. They can also be used to create origin stones. Deep within the ruins, there is also plenty of vegetation that contains incredibly powerful primal energy. These plants can be brewed into potions to boost primal energy and heal wounds,
or even unleash one's inner potential to enter a berserker state. It is by utilizing these precious resources in their relentless battles against monsters that humanity has grown stronger, step by step.
That is why these resources are absolutely vital for any human genius to grow.
At this moment, everyone's eyes turned red with envy.
Dubiayam was so green with envy that her face contorted. She fixed her gaze on the principal of Magic Capital Monster University.
My name is Liu Royan. I awakened the S-Class Qingyu Spirit Deer. Battle King Go previously promised to let me join the Tenyu Holy Regiment. What do you think of me, sir?
Hearing her words, the principal of Magic Capital Monster University turned around slightly.
Not bad. Since you have Battle King Gu's recommendation, just report for registration when the semester starts.
With that, he completely ignored Di Ruan and turned back to rejoin the heated argument over who gets to claim me. Seeing this, Yu Ruyan was instantly petrified. At this moment, she finally realized what true favoritism felt like. She also fully understood that she and I were indeed from two completely different worlds.
Just then, Yu Chang'an suddenly bellowed. Enough! You four old geezers can shut your mouths now. Let me tell you this. Udoming will not be joining any of your monster universities.
Hearing this, the four of them immediately grew anxious. In entire Yanxia Empire, besides our 4 universities,
which other school is even worthy of Lo Ming? No way. We don't agree. Hearing this, Yu Chang'an sneered. Stop barking.
Whether you agree or not, it's happening.
Besides, there is one thing you said that I completely disagree with.
Is there really no school in Yanxia that can match your 4 universities? The moment those words were spoken, everyone's expression shifted.
Even Yumo looked incredibly shocked.
The 4 principals gasped in unison.
Don't tell me. You're planning to send him to that purgatory of a university.
Yichao now smiled faintly.
Exactly.
I intend to send Luo Ming to that very school. Only there can his true talent be fully unleashed, and not in the comfortable ivory towers you run.
There are many monster universities in Yanxia, and while the 4 prestigious universities stand supreme,
there is still one peak institution that exists beyond their ranks. However, this university is usually not even on the average student's radar.
Nor is it a place you can enter just because you want to. This elite institution is known as Askia University.
It was jointly founded by the military and the nation's 4 elite holy regiments.
Its admission standards are notoriously brutal. Only 100 students are accepted each year. Across all 3 grades, the entire school has only 300 students. Yet, they have 225 instructors.
These include the 9 heavenly kings of the Yanxia military, 36 war kings, 72 formation generals, and 108 battle generals.
Most shockingly, the school has a death rate of 70%. Out of every 100 freshmen, only 30 survive to graduation. But for those 30 survivors, as long as they stay alive, there is a 99% chance they will become legendary figures in the military.
Naturally, the entrance trials for Yanxia University are incredibly harsh.
The first rule: anyone below S rank is immediately disqualified. The mating elite must then fight it out in a massive trial, and only the top 100 are admitted. And no matter how gifted you are,
everyone at Yanxia University is treated exactly the same. Steph, if you want resources, you must fight for them with your own strength.
Because of this, many students from powerful, wealthy families avoid the school entirely.
Just look at Jumo.
Although he was qualified for Yanxia University, because Madu Monster University offered him incredibly lavish terms, to chose Modu University instead. Still, those who do graduate from Yanxia University are, without exception, the absolute best of the best.
And Ti Chang'an, 7 years ago, he was the top graduate of his class at Yanxia University.
Zhengao, are you willing to join Yanxia University?
Let me warn you beforehand. Fleem, if you are a triple-rank genius,
You still have to pass the official trials to get in.
Furthermore, we won't promise you any resources other than the standard rewards from the trials.
Everything must be earned through your own sweat and blood.
But I can promise you this.
If you can survive and graduate from Yachia University,
You will absolutely become a titan of the military.
and if you can defeat me,
You will become the future commander of the Tianqi Holy Regiment.
Standing at the absolute pinnacle of this country.
At that point, no one will ever be able to use their power or family background to look down on you.
No one will ever force you to do anything you don't want to do again.
Suddenly, I raised my hand and asked, Vice Commander Ye,
If I join Yaxia University, can I kill monsters?
of course you can.
No. Do you know why the death rate at Yanxia University is so high?
It's because our students must venture deep into the ruins to hunt monsters and hone their combat skills.
Do you really enjoy hunting monsters that much?
I guess so, I replied, scratching my head.
Honestly, I'm only eyeing the Toadies' second stage, devouring 10,000 beasts. It requires devouring 10,000 bronze rank monsters.
As long as you have the strength.
There will be endless monsters for you to slaughter.
Other universities are nothing but ivory towers.
But at Yasuo University, you can slaughter as many as you want, however you want.
I knew I didn't misjudge you.
Tingang, you are a born warrior.
You belong at Yexia University.
He Chown burst into a hearty laugh as he spoke.
Hearing this, I grinned. I'm in. I'm willing to join Yanxi University. You should know, none of the ancient 10 fiends in the Temple of the 10 Fiends I awakened are easy to deal with.
My life is destined to be spent in slaughter and battle.
Jiaxing University might be brutal, but it's the perfect place for me.
My strength will definitely skyrocket here. Since I've been given a second chance at life, I will never let anyone push me around again. I will rise to the very top of this era.
At this moment, a fierce fighting spirit flared in my eyes. Yi Chang nodded in deep satisfaction at the sight.
He handed me a golden token.
Yasi University's assessment is in 1 month.
Bring this token with you, and you can
Participate. Flipping his hand, Yachangan revealed a vial. This is the complete essence blood of a gold rank monster, the Blood Ghost Wolf.
Considered it a welcoming gift.
Aside from this, I have one more thing for you.
A while ago, I hunted down a 6-eyed Vizra outside the city walls.
Once that 6-eyed Vizra is dissected,
I'll have someone extract one of its bones to forge a battle weapon.
I'll have it delivered to you when it's ready.
What kind of weapon do you prefer?
I paused to think for a moment. I recalled that the Toddy skill is the heaven-devouring spear. I prefer spears.
Xiaotong was taken aback.
You kid really have great taste.
But when it comes to spears, I know of one that would suit you even better.
I'll make sure it's delivered to you before the assessment.
Chang, I'm patting my shoulder. The more I look at you, the more I like you, kid. Keep it up. Do whatever you want, and don't hold back. As long as I, He Chang'an, am around, no one will dare bully you or use their status to suppress you.
With that, he cast a sideways glance at Guyumo and snorted.
Since Xinjiang has already made his decision, I'll be taking my leave first.
By now, Go Yumo's face was incredibly dark. He didn't want to stay here for even another minute.
With that, he tossed a badge to the Yu Ruyan. This is the reserve member badge for my Tianyu Sacred Order.
Keep it. Having said that, he took Buing Xiao, leaped onto the back of the divine horned dragon, and soared away.
Lu Xuya stared at the badge in her hands, which bore the 2 words, Tan Yu.
The excitement she should have felt was completely gone.
Meanwhile, Yi Chagan was also preparing to leave.
But before departing, he narrowed his eyes and swept his gaze over the crowd. I don't care about the rivalry between the younger generation, he warned.
But if any of you seniors try to use your age and years of cultivation to bully them,
Don't blame me for showing no mercy.
As he spoke, a thick, almost tangible wave of murderous intent surged from Yi Chang'an's eyes.
then he transformed into a beam of light and vanished into the horizon.
Seeing that the dust had settled, the school principals nearby began to leave one after another.
But Jing Tao felt like crying.
Not only had he lost a top-tier genius like me, but he had also completely offended me.
At the same time, a wave of intense regret washed over Lu Yuan.
The overwhelming pain caused her to collapse to the ground once again.
Just then, a young man appeared by her side. Ruan, are you okay?
His name was Zhang Prong.
He was one of Liu Ruyan's many suitors.
He was also one of the few S-class students at Xinghai Beast Academy.
However, he had completed his awakening long ago and had spent the last few days in seclusion at home, pushing his limits.
Now, having just emerged from his training, he was devastated to see his goddess, Liu Ruyan, in such a state.
Yunpeng felt a tight squeeze in his chest, as if a giant hand were crushing his heart. With a twisted, furious expression, he demanded, "Is it Tengal? Was he the one who did this to you? Is he the one who made you so miserable?"
Tell me, Ruyan. Yu Yuan shook her head. I don't want to talk about it. Just stop asking.
Things had already come to this. There was nothing left to say. Seeing her like this, Cheng Peng was consumed by rage. He leaped onto the awakening platform in a single bound. "Qingao,
How could you bear to hurt Ruyan like this?
you're not a real man. I challenge you to a duel to the death. Do you have the guts?"
Hearing this, I raised a single finger. Why wouldn't I dare?
But we need to make it interesting. A wager of at least $1 million, or there's no deal.
Pine glanced back at the heartbroken Li Wanyan.
And then at my arrogant, provocative smirk.
Without a second thought, he agreed. The dark, vicious, murderous glint flashed in Zhang Peng's eyes. Tangal.
I accept.
But once we step onto this stage, it's a battle to the death. Life or death is out of our hands.
If you die, it's simply because your skills were lacking. No one can hold the other accountable.
I gave a calm nod. Seeing my response, Jinpeng turned to Jinping Tao and the others below. Then, I asked the deans to act as our referees.
Referee? Like hell you are.
Kid, don't think I don't know what you're up to.
You awakened 3 days ago.
So your level must be pretty high by now. Ken Gang just awakened. How could he possibly beat you? Exactly. That's right. I can tell just by looking at you that you're up to no good. Hearing this, the 4 academy deans were highly indignant.
They all started shouting curses at him.
But Jinpeng's father was a military commander and a member of the elite Blood Flame Holy Legion.
So he didn't give a damn about the 4 of them. Deans, he agreed to this himself. If he doesn't mind, why are you sticking your noses into other people's business?
Jinpeng quickly chimed in.
Your point is absolutely right. This is Tiangong's own decision.
We should respect his choice. And the reason he said this,
Because he knows his relationship with me can never be mended. If I can get wiped out just like this, nothing would be better for him.
After all, Yu Chaigan did say he wouldn't interfere in clashes among the younger generation.
So, if I die at the hands of Zhang Plong,
It's only because my skills were lacking.
and I can't blame anyone else.
You old geezer. Don't think I don't know what you're plotting.
Aren't you just dying for Qin Gang to get killed?
If you can't have him, you'll destroy him.
How can you be so twisted inside?
Zheng Qingta, we're done.
Humans don't make friends with dogs. Even though the 4 deans looked furious.
Human Tak still didn't care.
Go ahead and fight. I'll be the referee.
The moment the words left his mouth, the moment the scents,
A powerful aura burst from Jiangpeng's body.
And he immediately transformed into an S-class beast.
the golden rock, which let out a piercing screech to the sky. Its sharp, bone-chilling roar instantly echoed through the entire arena.
Jingplud flapped his massive wings and lunged straight at me in an attack.
Just then, a sharp-eyed student noticed the level badge on his chest and cried out in shock. Look, guys,
That's Black Iron Tier 5.
He only awakened 3 days ago, and he's already at Black Iron Tier 5?
This guy is definitely a pay-to-win player.
Just then, a sudden burst of bloody flames drew everyone's gaze.
I transformed into an incredibly dominant blood-red figure. But this time, there were no gasps of surprise. Instead, there was only a heavy, dead silence.
because the rank badge on my chest was only Tier 1 Black Iron. You see, a 4-rank gap is an insurmountable chasm, no matter how gifted you are. A normal talent can make up for a 1-rank difference. For example, a rank 3 Black Iron, S-class monster is only equivalent to a rank 4 Black Iron, standard class monster. By that logic, as a rank 1 Black Iron with a triple S-class monster, I should normally be on par with Zhang Peng, who has a rank 3 Black Iron, S-class monster.
But Zhang Peng's current rank is far higher than that. Just as everyone was worrying for me,
Zhang Peng silently drew a golden sword from behind his back.
This was none other than the legendary weapon, the Jingfeng Sword, crafted from the bones of a bronze rank 7, a class monster, the Golden Feathered Eagle. But seeing this, I couldn't care less.
Xiaopeng turned into a flash of golden light and lunged straight at me.
Activating his talent, Peak Wild Speed,
His swordplay suddenly accelerated to a whole new level.
He cleanly sliced through the very air,
leaving a trail of blur after images. In response, I activated my own talent, Desolate Tyranny.
Instantly, a monstrous wave of bloody energy erupted from my body,
Then, I thrust my massive hand forward.
touching that golden feather sword barehanded with a violent grip. With my other hand, I locked onto the golden walk's arm.
The golden rose shrieked in absolute agony.
As its golden arm began to twist and deform, I squeezed with a single hand.
Tearing the golden rock's entire arm clean off. Golden blood instantly splattered all over the ground. Then, I grabbed the golden rock by the throat and hoisted him into the air.
My face was twisted in a ferocious grin,
A sheer look of insatiable greed flashing in my eyes. This was the sign that the Taudi was about to feast. Terrified, the golden rock stared in sheer horror.
He couldn't comprehend how a mere Tier 1 Black Iron could be this monstrously powerful.
Before he could even recover from the shock, the Taudi slammed the golden roque's body ruthlessly into the ground. Then, with a single hand, ripped the wing right off his back.
Having lost an arm and a wing, the golden ruck lay there, barely breathing.
He finally saw the terrifying gap in power between himself and the Taudi.
You're too weak.
You can't even make me try. And with that, I activated Infinite Plunder. And in the next second, the golden roque's eyes widened in sheer terror.
He could clearly feel his talent, Apex Velocity, being violently stripped away from him.
At that moment, I thrust my sharp claws straight toward his heart. But just then, an urgent voice came from a distance, shouting, "Stop! Don't you dare kill him!"
And this is Zhang Peng's father, Zheng Dao, a commander in the military and leader of the Blood Rock Legion.
"You dare kill my son? I'm going to tear you apart!" he roared, threatening me with pure fury. "This is a death match. Life and death are on the line. Your threats don't mean jack shit. If you lose, you die." With that, I mercilessly plunged my hand straight into his chest.
In an instant, I ripped out a glowing golden object.
It was the Golden Rogue's beast core.
Stripped of his beast core, the golden rock collapsed to the ground, reverting back to his human form.
There lay Zhang Peng, his eyes wide with horror, unable to rest in peace.
After crushing the beast core in my palm,
I shifted back into my human form. The crowd stood frozen, too shocked to utter a single word. But Zheng Dao let out a grief-stricken, furious roar. In an instant, a terrifyingly powerful aura erupted from his body. As a deafening blast shook the heavens and earth, 100-meter-tall stone giant towered over the ground. This was Zheng Gao's awakened monster, the S-class stone golem. This colossal beast possessed Herculean strength, and its defensive power was absolutely terrifying.
Now, the massive stone giant slowly reached out with a colossal hand,
Blocking out the sun and casting a shadow over the entire arena, aiming to crush me in its grip.
"Since you dared to kill my son, I'll take your life first."
The giant hand slammed down with relentless force, sending the terrified students flee in all directions. "Stop!"
The 4 deans' faces turned pale as they rushed to intervene.
But as mere gold-class fighters, they stood no chance of blocking him. Just then, Mo Rutian, a Blue Jade-class military commander and the defense chief of Xinghai province, roared at the top of his lungs.
争道，斗那是颜个白酒。
Tangao is a prodigy of Anxia.
Do you have any idea what it means to murder a genius of Yanxia?
A genius of Yanxia!
Was my son not one as well?
Why is my son the one who had to die, while his life is spared? The colossal stone giant let out a booming voice,
His thunderous words echoing through the skies.
It was a duel to the death. Your son was the one who insisted that life and death didn't matter.
He was simply outmatched. You can't hold Jiagan responsible for this.
That's total bullshit. I don't care. My son is dead, so he has to die too. Meruchen, get the hell out of my way right now, or else I'll kill you right along with it.
Zheng Dao was radiating pure killing intent, dead set on taking my life.
To avenge his son, Zhang Peng.
No one present could possibly stop him.
Suddenly, a third booming shout echoed, commanding him to stop. A middle-aged figure clad in a blood-red cloak suddenly materialized, hovering right in front of Zheng Dao,
staring straight into his bloodshot crimson eyes. "Zheng Dao, if you got the guts, say that again right to my face."
A look of shock flashed across Zheng Dao's eyes.
Yeah, Grand Commander.
What are you doing here?
The newcomer was none other than Li Xie, the Grand Commander of the Blood Flame Legion and a purple Jade Tier warrior. Jintou! Deactivate your transformation this instant. Like, commanded with a grim face.
This kid, he killed my son. I have to kill him to avenge my boy.
Zheng Zhao roared at the top of his lungs. Have you lost your mind, Zheng Zhao? Your son's death is on him. He was simply outmatched. This was a life and death duel. You can't blame anyone else for that. Moreover, Li Xiu moaned close to Zheng Dao and whispered, "This kid is backed by Yu Chang'an, the silver dragon of the 9 heavens.
于桥阳伞所横扫。
If anyone dares to use their power to bully the kid, he will show absolutely no mercy. Do you want our entire Blood Flame Legion to be dragged down to the grave with you? We are talking about the silver dragon of the 9 heavens, Yi Chang'an. Who the hell do you think you are, Zheng Dao, trying to mess with a powerhouse of that caliber?" Zheng Dao's expression became extremely grim.
But I can't let this go, Grand Commander.
I just can't accept this.
He murdered my son. He was bordering on absolute madness.
君岛，遇到好了休息。
You can only blame your son for being too weak. He was simply outmatched.
At a deathmatch stage.
Even if they slaughtered your entire family, you would just have to shut up and take it.
Do you hear me, Gentile?
And let me remind you, the full end's right through. The live stream is still running right now. For all we know, the 9 heavens silver dragon, Yet Chang'an, might be watching everything right now. If he actually decides to show up, not even I will be able to save you anymore.
Hurry up, undo your transformation and get out of here with me right now.
Zheng Dao froze in his tracks, glaring daggers at me. She stared right back at him, without a single shred of fear. If I weren't so weak today, I would have definitely slaughtered him right where he stands. Seeing that I wouldn't back down an inch, Zheng Dao's rage only boiled over even more. Yet, that massive hand hovering over my head couldn't press down, no matter how hard he tried. "Commander, do I really have to just swallow my pride and take this lying down?" Zheng Dao demanded, his voice burning with resentment.
Li Xi's face was filled with helplessness. But just as he was about to open his mouth,
a thunderous voice echoed from the heavens. "If you can't endure it, then you can just go ahead and die." Out of the void, a blinding flash of spear light erupted with a deafening boom. At this moment, the 9 heavens silver dragon, Yu Chang'an, has arrived. Li Xi was absolutely shell-shocked. Wait, no. This is just his weapon. Yi Chang'an himself isn't even here.
Is this really the power of the 9 heavens silver dragon?
The colossal spear light was like a silver dragon roaring across the heavens, exploding with pure, lethal intent as it locked onto Zheng Dao and tore straight down.
Deputy Commander Ye.
"Please, show some mercy for my sake," Li Xiu pleaded in desperation. But before he could even finish his sentence, the spear light transformed into a blinding beam, piercing through the sky, and slammed straight down into the crown of Zheng Dao's head with an earth-shattering boom. His 1,000-foot-tall body, as if struck by divine lightning, instantly blew apart into countless boulders that rained down onto the earth. The spear stood impaled, vibrating deeply in the ground. As the blinding light slowly faded, only a shattered beast core remained. "Li Xiu, who the hell do you think you are, expecting me to show you any respect? Anyone who dares to harm the genius of Yanxia shall be executed on the spot for high treason. Does your Blood Flame Holy Regiment have a problem with that? Or are you going to tell me that Zheng Dao's actions were ordered by the Blood Flame Holy Regiment itself?"
Li Xi's face turned incredibly pale, twisted in humiliation. Yet, in the end, he still bowed his proud head in defeat. This
This has absolutely nothing to do with the Blood Flame Holy Regiment. It was entirely Zheng Dao's own doing.
You did well to execute him, Deputy Commander Ye.
He simply did not dare to offer a single word of protest.
The entire crowd erupts in shock.
That is the absolute domineering power of the Nine Heavens Silver Dragon, Yi Chang'an.
And this is exactly where my confidence comes from. I have no power, no influence, and zero background. I am stubborn, and I refuse to ever bow my head.
A lot of people thought a guy like me would easily get crushed and die young.
But now that Ji Chang'an is standing up for me, who would dare bully me ever again? Zhou Dao's fate is the ultimate warning to them all. Even the War King, Go Yumo, refused to step in.
Even after his weapon vanished,
The crowd remained dead silent.
after a long, agonizing silence, Li Shu finally handed me a Crimson Beast Realm core and said, "Young friend Tingang, please forgive."
It's all my fault for failing to keep my subordinates in check.
This is a gold-tier beast realm core from a meteor firewolf with an A-grade talent.
Please accept this as my personal apology. A prominent war general of great COI is actually apologizing to a mere student like me. The entire internet is absolutely blowing up.
Oh my god, Tangyang.
All I can say is, take my respect. I am literally bowing down to you.
That is so incredibly badass.
A military general apologizing to a student?
My mom asked me why I'm watching this live stream on my knees. Seriously, the gap between ordinary people and geniuses is just
And the news of Yi Chang'an stepping up for me completely shook.
All 72 provinces of Yanxia.
Meanwhile, at the headquarters of the Crimson Sacred Legion in the imperial capital,
Chang'an, you killed a military commander in broad daylight without saying a single word. You're making things really difficult for me. The blue-haired youth in military uniform sighs helplessly.
Yi Chang'an rests his legs on the desk.
With his silver dragon spear leaning against his side, nonchalantly playing some popular mobile game. Which group of old geezers is barking this time? Well, to be specific, it's Qin Haoren, the third young master of the Qin family.
he filed a formal complaint against you at the military headquarters.
Yun Tenjia, the blue-haired youth, sighs.
Yi Chang'an snorts.
Kuntang,
That guy is nothing but a pain in the ass. He's trying to stand up for his brother-in-law, right?
Fine, once I finish off this boss, I'll go have a little chat with him.
I really hope it's a peaceful chat this time. Hey, don't you know I always win people over with virtue?
Ling Chenjia's mouth twitches.
He glances at the words engraved on the silver dragon spear. The weapon of truth. A few years ago, Yu Chang'an beat a young master from a powerful imperial capital family so hard he ended up in the Grand Commander of the Sacred Order scolded him, telling him he must win people over with virtue. The very next day, he engraved those exact words right onto his spear,
And then proceeded to send the young master's father to the intensive care unit as well.
Since then, absolutely no one in the imperial capital has dared to cross this little terror. So when you say virtue, yeah, we all know exactly what you mean.
If they're going to fight, just don't send him to the ICU.
The ICU beds at the imperial capital hospital have been pretty tight lately. Yin Tenjian warned.
Although he was the deputy leader, he was more like a nagging mother to Ye Chang'an.
He belonged to the prominent Yin family of the imperial capital, with one representing the brains and the other the brawn, and backed by one of Yanxia's 9 heavenly kings. They could practically walk all over the imperial capital.
Speaking of which, the annual Star Moon Beast Tide is just around the corner.
Yeah. Lately, the beasts outside the ruins have been getting wilder and wilder. The investigating teams within the Holy Regiment have suffered devastating casualties. The Grand Commander suspects.
Ang Chenjia's gaze grew heavy.
Suspects what? That the 14th Beast King might be about to emerge.
What? Yi Chang'an eyes narrowed instantly.
30 years ago, when the 13th Beast King emerged, the previous commander of the Chenchi Holy Regiment was killed in battle, and more than half of the 9 heavenly kings were killed or wounded. Once the Star Moon Beast Tide breaks out,
All 4 holy regiments will have to mobilize completely to march into the ruins. Chang'an.
when that time comes, without you here to protect him, the kid you've been looking after is going to have a rough time.
It's fine.
We still have time, don't we?
Besides, he's someone I personally chose.
I believe in him. You know, I've never seen you think so highly of anyone before.
Why on earth are you helping this kid anyway?
And don't tell me it's because of his SS-class talent.
The young lady of the Shah family in the imperial capital has SSS-class talent too, doesn't she?
She begged to be your disciple, and you still rejected her.
That excuse might work on others. But it's not going to fly with me.
Tenjia, this is one thing I really can't tell you.
What? You're keeping it that deep of a secret?
You're even keeping it from me?
Yi Chang stared at his palm in silence.
There was a secret he had never told a soul.
When he watched my awakening through the screen,
He seemed to see a crimson being standing tall in the starry sky, feeding on the sun, moon, and stars.
Before that supreme being, those so-called SSS-class beasts
We're nothing but the lowest grade food.
My talent is definitely far beyond SSS class.
And I am destined to be the savior who rescues humanity in this era.
Meanwhile, on the other side, as the awakening concluded and caused a massive stir, Lu Ruyan and her companions looked incredibly grim.
With the awakening officially over,
I went back to my dorm to pack up my bags.
the 3 roommates who used to look down on me were now kissing my feet, calling me Brother Tian, with every breath as they eagerly carried my bags to the school gate. I smirked to myself but didn't stop them. In this dog-eat-dog world,
Having an entourage like this is exactly what the strong deserve.
While I was waiting for my ride at the gate,
A beautiful figure appeared in my sight. Kaigan,
I need to talk to you.
Rui walked up to me.
her eyes slightly red, looking completely fragile and pitiful.
I have nothing to say to you.
I said indifferently as I brushed past her.
Yang, I was wrong.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Can we get back together? I really know I was wrong. I'll do whatever you want.
Lu Ruiai grabbed my sleeve tightly, begging and pleading.
I slowly turned around. Anything? Really? A flicker of joy flashed in Li Ruian's eyes.
She nodded vigorously.
Yes, as long as you're willing. We can go to a hotel tonight.
Then return the money I gave you.
It should be over 1 million by now.
I said calmly.
The rest of Lu Ruian's words instantly died in her throat.
Her face went pale, changing from red to white. The money, it's all gone. I frowned. Over 1 million, gone just like that?
In reality, most of the money she took from me went to pay off her gambler father's debts. The rest had already been squandered away by her.
If I forced her to pay me back.
She would have no choice but to sell her own body.
Watching from the side, Liu Duxiang and his wife couldn't hold back anymore. Li Duxiang jumped out from the corner. Tangang, my daughter already apologized to you.
What more do you want from her? How can you be so ruthless?
You don't know how to show a woman any mercy at all. A mocking smirk played on my lips. I looked at Yu Yan. Is this what you call an apology?
Lu Ruian's face paled.
No, it's not like that.
Taiyang,
Let me explain. Get lost. I turned around indifferently.
and walked away, without looking back.
Damn it. What the hell do you mean by that, you little bastard? Who the hell do you think you're telling to get lost? You motherless piece of trash.
溜大家看比例3。
He screams wildly at my back.
I freeze in my tracks. Turning around slowly, I unleash a backhand slap that sends Lu Duxiang flying over 10 meters away.
Then I pull out my phone and dial Chief Mo.
I've been scammed. On the other end of the line, Mo Richin freezes, then roars. How dare they? Someone actually dares to scam my Master Tien? They must be looking for death.
Mo Rushin is absolutely furious.
Right now, I am the absolute treasure of Inshinaijiu.
If I become a battle king in the future,
The Heavenly King and Dinaiju will share in my glory.
at that moment I add,
They didn't just scam me.
they also insulted a martyr and cursed my parents.
What? Warichin's blood boils instantly. Unbelievable.
江阳，海boy.
Stay right where you are. Protect yourself. I'm coming right now. Hiding up the phone.
Richardson's blood is boiling with pure rage.
He wants to see exactly who has the audacity to do this.
Chang, who are you calling a scammer?
When did we ever scam you? And why did you lay a hand on my dad?
Lu Ruiai helps her father up, looking incredibly wronged.
Ruian, report this to the military. This bastard beat me up. We must report this to the military.
Report it to Battle King Gu.
Has Battle King Gu throw him in prison?
Liu Duxiang is covered in blood, his face swollen like a pig's.
He glares at me like a rabid dog.
No need. I've already reported it to the military.
I say calmly.
Fine. Tangon,
Beating up a civilian violates military law.
I want to see who the military will arrest when they get here. You or me?
I ignore him completely.
A moment later, an off-road vehicle screeches to a halt at the school gate. Po Wuqian rushes out of the car with several military soldiers. Excellent. I didn't expect the military chief to come here personally.
Jiang Yang,
No matter how talented you are, you've broken military law. You're dead meat.
Lu Duxiang's face lights up with sheer ecstasy.
Chief Mo, I want to report Qiangan. He beat before Liu Duxiang can even finish speaking.
Mo Wuqing's tree sweeps past him like a gust of wind and rushes right up to me.
His face is filled with anxiety. Tingan, are you okay? Did you get hurt anywhere? With the way he's fussing over me, anyone who didn't know would think I was his own father.
Lu Duxiang is completely dumbfounded.
Chief Mo, Tingan beat me up. Look, he beat my face until it's swollen. And here, he did all of this. So it's you, huh? Scamming Tingan, insulting a martyr's descendant, and launching personal attacks. Is that it? Fine. Men, arrest him and take him back for a full investigation. If I don't put you behind bars for 3 or 4 years, my name isn't Mo. Chief Mo, I'm the victim. 7 years. Chief Mo, 8 years.
Liu Duxiang instantly shuts his mouth.
Even an idiot could see that Mo Rudin is blatantly taking my side. Besides, he can't afford to be investigated. That over 1 million was entirely used to pay off gambling debts. 1 check and hard labor is a certainty, and he'll have to return every single cent. Don't investigate. I confess. Yu Taksong begs, but Mo Rutian snaps. With you acting so guilty, there's definitely a major problem. After a thorough investigation, Liu Duxiang is dragged away. Sure enough, he turns out to be a degenerate gambler. He is happily awarded an 8-year prison sentence, and the military even used this opportunity to bust an underground casino. Mo Richan even presented me with a model citizen banner and a 50,000 reward. Not only did they recover over 500,000 of the scammed money, but Mo also promised to oversee the Su family, liquidating their assets to pay back the rest. I gladly agreed.
With Liu Yan's matters out,
I contacted the buyer who bought my family home, wanting to buy the house back, but they told me the house had already been resold and gave me the new buyer's contact info. How confident do you have to be to name yourself that?
I dialed the number. Hello? A cold, distant voice answered. Hello?
Is this Miss Xiao?
My name is Tiangao.
I'd like to talk to you about the house in G1 Estate.
I wonder if it's convenient for us to meet up,
I'm already living in the house.
and I have no intention of selling it.
She hung up on me, cold as ice.
I get a massive headache. The guy whose body I took over left a huge mess, and now I have to clean it up. Before I can even process it, my phone rings again. Hello?
Miss Sai? What did you say your name was again?
Kenya, why? Half an hour.
The Fenke Cafe on the island.
I'll be waiting. And she hangs up again. I scratch my head in confusion.
Why did she suddenly change her mind?
Well, might as well go and see what's up. Half an hour later, I arrive at the cafe.
So you're Tiangao?
A cold, crisp voice asks.
I look up to see an incredibly exquisite face. With eyes dark as the starry night, snow-white hair cascading like a waterfall, and a white dress tracing her perfect curves. She is many times more beautiful than Yurian, aloof and breathtakingly cold.
She truly lives up to her name, Sai Qingzhou.
没喜小江长.
That's me. Shachi Kung brushes a strand of hair behind her ear and sits across from me. I've already moved into the house, so there is no way I'm selling it back.
But if you're willing, I can rent it to you. Here is the contract.
You can take a look.
She slides a document over to me.
I freeze.
Well, that's incredibly direct.
Moving in together right off the bat?
What? You don't want to?
夏千章反述.
Is the rent too high?
Right. Considering you're still a student, is 1,000 a month acceptable to you? I think listing a place of 140 to 50 square meters would usually cost at least 2,000.
She bought a multi-million-dollar house.
On a whim.
So she's definitely not short on cash.
Yet, she's offering me such a dirt-cheap price.
I feel like she's up to something.
Wait. She's not after my body, is she?
What is that look on your face?
Sai Qingzhou looks at my shifting expression
And furrows her brows.
Nothing. I shake my head quickly.
A guy's gotta protect himself out there in the world.
But if she, a woman, isn't afraid, then what the hell am I worried about?
Worst case scenario, I'll just take a little loss.
I nodded. Sure, that works.
And sign my name. Happy co-living.
夏青青才是口顶倒是很棘手.
You're too polite, Miss Shaw.
Since you're my landlord now.
I took the keys and told her I would drop off my luggage first, watching my retreating back.
Sai Chang flicked the contract.
A smug, cold smirk playing on her lips. Now that we're under the same roof, I can finally get a close look at you.
We both have triple S grade talent. So why does Senior Yi think so highly of you? What makes you so special? I'll dig up every single one of your secrets, without missing a single detail.
After putting away my luggage,
I received a call from Lin Hong.
he was a comrade in arms of my late father.
When my father was alive, our families were on very good terms.
His daughter, Lin Moqing, and I were practically childhood sweethearts.
But after my father passed away, we rarely kept in touch.
Hey, Meng.
The breaking ceremony is over.
If you have some time, let's grab a bite together.
Gulking is here too.
It's been so long since we all caught up.
I nodded. As a junior, I had to show him respect. We'll be waiting for you at the Shiguan Grand Hotel.
At 12 noon.
I arrived at the Shiguan Grand Hotel.
Led by the waiter,
I headed toward room 308.
Not long after I entered the room.
An elegant and stunningly beautiful woman also arrived at the hotel.
Suzu.
I'm here. Suzu.
Which private room are you in?
Room 309. 请求和有我.
I've already ordered the food. You came all the way from the imperial capital to Xinghai for this?
So I absolutely have to treat you right.
Meanwhile, I pushed open the door and stepped into room 308.
Uncle Lane, Auntie?
I said, sitting down across from them.
Mean. Ling Hong carried a stern, authoritative air.
He held a civilian post in the military, and his family was quite well off. His wife, Sun Yuning, was well preserved and looked very elegant. This is Ma Qin. You two haven't seen each other in a while, Ling Hong said, pointing at the girl next to him, who had her head down, glued to her phone. I still remember when you were kids. You said you wanted to marry Ma Qin when you grew up. Oh, Dad. That was just a childhood joke. How can you take it seriously? Besides, I already have a boyfriend now. Please don't make those kinds of jokes anymore. If my boyfriend hears you, he won't be happy. Li Moqing looked up, speaking with pure irritation.
Oh, right.
My bad, Moqing. It's my fault for talking nonsense. Ling Hong smiled apologetically and asked,
By the way, when is Ah-Han coming over?
Soon.
Hang has extra classes at school lately.
After all, he awakened a powerful S-class beast.
He is the main focus.
Of the entire school right now, Lin Moqing bragged proudly.
Yes, Ah-Han really is outstanding. An EVE-class beast, but puts him in a league of his own.
Once he gets into a top-tier sacred beast order, joining them will be way more promising than sitting in a desk job like us.
Lan Hong nodded, but a sharp scoff cut him off. What's wrong with a desk job? At least office workers are safe. In times like these, it's so dangerous out there. If you go to the front lines, you never know when you'll end up dead. Some Uni said in a mocking, sarcastic tone.
My eyes narrowed slightly.
Yuning, don't talk nonsense.
Those fallen soldiers are all brave warriors of our nation.
How can you say something so disrespectful? Just like my old comrade. They fought for their country. That is an honor.
How dare you slander them?
Sun Yuning snorted coldly, paying him no mind. Tingon, she said, turning to me.
Your school's awakening ceremony is over too, right?
What rank of beast did you awaken?
My Maki really made us proud though.
She awakened an A-class beast, the Frost Soul Bird.
And her boyfriend is even more incredible.
He got an S-class.
Sun Yunong gasped dramatically. It's alright, I guess, I replied casually.
What do you mean, it's alright?
Why are you acting so defensive? Don't tell me it's just a C-class.
Sun Yunong pressed further, cornering me.
I shook my head with a faint smile.
It's triple class. Triple C.
Haha, Jianyang.
You really know how to crack a joke.
Zhang Yuning covered her red lips and burst into exaggerated laughter.
Ling Moking also shook with laughter, giggling uncontrollably.
Tangang, even if you want to save face, you should at least find a better excuse.
Triple class? Do you take me for an absolute fool?
Uncle Ling frowned.
Taeyang, your parents are honest, down-to-earth people. There's no need to lie to us.
I'm your uncle, and I wouldn't mock you either.
I shrugged and didn't bother saying anything more.
I told the truth, but nobody believed me. What was I supposed to do?
Sun Yuning and her daughter looked at me with pure disdain. They obviously thought I had awakened some pathetic, low-tier beast and was lying to cover it up.
Probably a C-class, or maybe even a D-class.
Dangang, speaking of which, I actually confessed to you a few years ago.
Ling Moqing suddenly piped up, turning her head toward me. Thank goodness I rejected you back then, or I never would have met such an amazing boyfriend like Ah Heng.
She smiled smugly and glanced at her phone.
Oh, Ah Heng is here.
I'll go grab him.
Outside the private dining room, Lin Moqing linked arms with a handsome young man.
What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing. Wan Hing said, shaking his head.
Yet, he couldn't help but steal a few more glances at the neighboring room. Room 309.
Inside was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen in his entire life. She looked like an absolute goddess.
Compared to her,
Li Moqing beside him felt like an ugly duckling.
Come on, my parents have been waiting for ages.
The two of them walked into the room, hand in hand.
Tangyang, this is my boyfriend, Wang Hing.
He goes to the Hurricane Beast Academy.
And he awakened an S7 beast, the Red Rock Cerberus.
Ling Moqing lifted her chin proudly as she introduced Ah Heng.
And you know, something hilarious just happened. Changyang actually claimed he awakened a triple SCAS beast.
Haha, just as Wang Heng sat down.
Ling Moqing couldn't wait to share my embarrassing story with him. He chuckled. Yeah, that actually is pretty funny.
So, Brother Tangao, which Beast Academy do you go to?
Xinghai, but I just dropped out.
I replied casually.
At the mention of Xihai, Wang Hing frowned.
He had heard that an incredibly powerful monster had emerged in Xinghai, attracting the attention of many powerful figures. But since he was usually a straight-A student who rarely surfed the web,
he didn't know the exact details.
Ming Moqing, however, made an over-the-top, dramatic scene. Tangao,
You got expelled? Why would they expel you? Could it be because your talent is too garbage, so they kicked you out? And now that you're expelled, what about your little girlfriend, Li Ruyan?
I remember you rejected me because of her back then.
A mocking smirk flashed across Ling Moqing's face.
It seemed she was still bitter about being rejected by me all those years ago.
That's why she was sparing no effort to mock me today. We broke up, I said, taking a sip of tea. You broke up.
you actually broke up. She must have dumped you because she thought your awakened monster was too weak.
Bing Moqing doubled over with laughter.
Wang Hu nodded in agreement.
Milking is right. In today's society, the talent you awaken largely determines how high you can climb in the future.
For example, I awakened an S-class monster. I have a 90% chance of getting into the top monster academy in Yangxia and joining a prestigious holy regiment after graduation. I'll easily become a squad leader, or even a captain.
That's a level most people can only dream of reaching in their entire lives. Not to mention the commanders and generals above that.
Wang Hing's face was full of smug pride. Hurricane Academy only had 2 S-class students,
So he indeed had the right to be arrogant. But if he knew that the dean of Hurricane Academy, just to win me over, said he didn't even want the other 2 S-class students, I wonder what he would think.
Exactly, Tiangang. Your parents were once highly distinguished military warriors.
You absolutely cannot bring shame to their names. If all else fails, you can just work in your Shahil in the future.
I have high hopes for this boy, Shahong.
he's bound to achieve great things.
Some Yunon said with a smile. Once he marries Moqing,
He'll be part of our family.
when he becomes a commander or a general in the military, it wouldn't be a problem for him to pull some strings and make you a squad leader.
My mouth twitched. I struggled to hold back my laughter. Now I finally understand why web novel protagonists love playing weak to crush the arrogant.
Because it is just so satisfying.
When someone practically begs you to slap their face,
It would be rude of you not to oblige.
Meanwhile,
In private room 309 next door,
甜香一大.
why aren't you eating?
Bing Susu looked at the gorgeous, icy girl in front of her. Wait, I think I heard a familiar voice, Sha Qingcheng muttered.
Sai Qinzhuang frowned.
She could have sworn she heard someone next door calling out Tianga's name.
Then why don't we just invite them over?
But wait, do you actually know anyone else here in Xinghai State? Oh, it's my tenant. Your tenant? That's perfect.
Let's invite them to eat with us.
Maybe we can even become besties.
Ning Susu's eyes crinkled into sweet little crescents as she smiled.
Shekti-chen gave a strained smile.
What's with the awkward look? Are you shy?
Susu teased. There's nothing to be shy about. They're right next door, right? The least we can do is go say hello.
Ging Susu stood up. Sai Qinzhuang 挠的.
She could tell the voices next door were anything but friendly. They were dripping with mockery and sarcasm. After all, Tiangong was chosen by grandfather. If he gets insulted, grandfather will lose face too. The two girls stepped out of their private room and headed toward room 308.
张扬塑刘仲言当主游，
Does that mean you're single now?
眉目清撒里牙时，
Yeah. Oh, is that how it is? Oh, you poor thing. How pathetic. Pathetic. I shook my head. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Come in, Lin Moqing called out, assuming it was the waiter. The door swung open. Two unbelievably gorgeous girls walked in. Compared to them, Lin Moqing instantly paled in comparison. One was cold and elegant, like a pristine snow lotus on an icy mountain. The other had a doll-like face and an incredibly stunning, voluptuous figure. Every man's absolute dream. Which one? Which one is it?
King Chang, is your tenant that little sister over there?
Min Susu blinked in curiosity.
No. It's him.
Xia Qingqiang pointed at me. Ni Susu froze.
Are you sure? A guy!
Ginsheng, I can't believe you rented to a guy, and you two are living together?
Ne Susu shrieked in exaggerated disbelief.
Living together! The expressions of everyone from the Lin family instantly stiffened. Lei Mocking's face flushed with a mix of anger and embarrassment. He had just finished mocking me for getting dumped, and in the blink of an eye, I'd already moved in with a girl who was as elegant and stunning as a goddess. Compared to Xiao Qingcheng, she was nothing but an ugly duckling. Wang Ying looked completely dumbfounded.
He couldn't believe the goddess he just saw at the entrance was actually living with a useless loser who only awakened a C-rank talent and got expelled.
Hey, handsome. How on earth did you manage to win over our goddess Xiao? Honestly, if I hadn't met you today,
I would have thought my goddess Xiao was actually into girls.
Ling Sisi leaned in close to me. Well, maybe because I'm just that handsome.
Ming Susu rolled her eyes.
Fine, keep your secrets. Using a lame excuse like that to fool me? Do you really think I'm just some naive, brainless bimbo?
Tiangong, is she your girlfriend? Lin Boking asked, her brow furrowing.
I was just about to deny it.
Of course, Xia Qingcheng said, naturally wrapping her arm around mine. My name is Xiao Chenggong.
建党是刘壮和，
She graciously extended her hand to Lin Mocking with effortless grace. I gave her a bewildered look. Lin Mocking's expression soured, because she noticed her own boyfriend's eyes were practically glued to Shai Changgong's body. Beside them, Ning Susu gasped in amazement. Oh my god.
My ice-cold heiress actually has a boyfriend.
I am absolutely shipping you two.
Standing to the side, Lin Hong stared at Xiao Qingcheng's profile, his brow furrowing.
The name sounded incredibly familiar to him. He pulled out his phone and did a quick search. He froze instantly.
18 years old. The eldest daughter of the Xia family, one of the 5 great families of the imperial.
Thingong's girlfriend was actually the heiress of the legendary Sa family from the imperial capital? How is this even possible? Could the heiress of the Xia family come all the way to Yuzhizhou just for Tiangong? Lin Hong was completely shaken to his core. Honey, what are you looking at? The distracted Sun Yuning leaned over to peer at his phone screen. The heiress of the imperial Xiao family.
Sun Yuning gasped out loud.
Her face was a mask of utter disbelief. Mom, what did you just say? Ling Moking was completely dumbfounded too. This girl, who utterly outclassed her in every imaginable way, was actually a noble lady from the imperial capital, remembering how she had just mocked me moments ago. Lei Maoking's face instantly flushed a deep, burning red.
我的是刘如雅，我小青琼。这儿够的很多才知道，但林莫情
She's the prestigious eldest daughter of the Xiao family from the imperial capital.
I looked completely shocked.
Sai Qingchang gave a deliberate, playful nod.
No way, handsome. You seriously didn't know who our Qingcheng is? Stick. Don't tell me this is one of those rich girl falls for poor boy stories from the novels.
And then you two elope together? Oh, I am totally shipping you two right now.
Ms. Souza giggled, covering her mouth. Meanwhile, watching how close Xiao Qingzhong and I were, Runking gritted his teeth in absolute rage. He couldn't wrap his head around it. Was this Xiao family heiress completely blind?
To actually fall for someone like Tiangong? A loser with absolutely no
And zero family background.
He, Wang Heng, was an S-rank genius.
He was countless times stronger than Tiangong.
Why wasn't he the one Sai Qingzhou fell for?
Meanwhile, on the other side.
Because I awakened a triple-rank monster and shocked the entire province. The Xinghaji Tul TV station wanted to do an exclusive interview with me.
They wanted me to share some words of encouragement for the students preparing for the upcoming college entrance exams, but they ended up missing me at my place.
Luckily, they got my contact info from Jinping Tao and called to ask if I was Tiangong.
Yeah, I'm at the Shigawan Hotel. I hung up the phone and frowned. The reporter said they're coming to interview me. Is something wrong? Xiao Ten asked telepathically.
It's nothing. Some reporters are coming in a bit.
Reporters? The others exchanged looks, utterly surprised. Wang Hyung gasped in surprise. Wait, did the reporters find out that Miss Yao is here? If there's anyone the reporters would want to interview, it would definitely be Sa Changgang, the heiress of the Soi family from the imperial capital. As for why they called Tiangang's phone, did the news of him dating Miss Xiao leak out?
A noble lady from the imperial capital dating a penniless, powerless, untalented, expelled dropout?
If this gets exposed, it will completely blow up the internet. He'll definitely get utterly destroyed by the online mob. Thinking of this, Wang Heng got incredibly excited. If Tiangao couldn't handle the pressure and they broke up, leaving an opening for him to swoop, Wang and smirked slyly.
Brother Tiangang, did you tell the reporters which private room you're in?
No? See, you're so unreliable when you do things.
If you don't tell them which room, how are they supposed to find you?
Tell you what, I'll go out and bring them in.
No? Do you want to come with me?
汪廷威的林梦婷。
林魔请我莫面查理上当，让警方知道的规则。
Right, exactly. Wang Heng and I will go welcome the reporters.
The two of them walked out of the private room together. I frowned. Those two were so hostile just a moment ago.
How did they suddenly become so helpful? Why did you drag me out here? Once they were out, Lin Moqing frowned and asked. Wang Heng said, Babe, listen to me.
Look at Tiangang. Isn't he dating Sa Jinjiang right now?
Yeah, so? Who do you think those reporters are here to interview? Who in our group actually has the clout to bring reporters here for Shak Chang?
Right, and think about it. How did they get Tiangong's number in the first place? And how did they know for sure that Sai Chen-cheng would be right by his side? Could the reporters have found out those two are dating?
Wang Heng sneered wickedly. Exactly. Tiangong is just a broke, nobody loser. If the media exposes that he's dating the eldest daughter of the prestigious imperial...
Just guess what's going to happen to him.
The Shang family won't even need to lift a finger. Shak Ching-chong's elite suitors alone will tear him to shreds.
Isn't that a bit too harsh?
Harsh, please.
Didn't you say he humiliated you by rejecting you back then? Since he already trampled on your pride.
Why on earth are you still looking out for him?
We're just giving things a little nudge.
With that, the two of them made their way to the lobby.
Moments later, a group of reporters carrying microphones and shoulder-mounted cameras filed in.
Hell immediately stepped in front of them.
Hello.
Are you the reporters?
Yes, I'm a reporter from Inkezhil TV.
My name is Bailin.
The sharp professional woman said.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You must be here to interview Miss Shak Ching-chong, right? Miss Yaz is currently in private room 309.
Her boyfriend, Tingdown, is in there with her as well.
Wan Heng said with a smug grin. Bailin and her crew froze. Shak Ching-chong? Who on earth is that? Wait, aren't you guys here for the eldest daughter of the Imperial?
Wang Heng stood frozen on the spot.
Huh?
The eldest daughter of the Imperial Sai family is actually here?
Yeah. Weren't you guys here for her?
Then, who are you here for?
Wang Heng frowned. There was no one in that private room worth a special interview from the media.
He thought of a shocking possibility and blurted out excitedly. Could it be for me?
I'm an S-Class Awakener from Hurricane Academy.
Bailin looked at him like he was an absolute idiot.
Who is that? Wang Heng was taken aback. My name is Wang Heng,
a student from Devoured Monster Academy and an S-Class Awakener.
Bailin shook her head.
Never heard of him. Roning was completely dumbfounded.
Then who on earth are you here for?
Don't tell me you didn't come because you knew the eldest miss of the Sha clan is in Jinghai State, and that she's Luo Ming's girlfriend, and that you specifically came to interview Shak Ching-chong through Luo Ming?
Bailin was stunned, then gave him a thumbs up.
Kid, as journalists, we need people with wild imaginations just like yours.
Are you interested in working for our station?
Wang He's face instantly darkened.
But I really didn't expect Luo Ming to actually have a girlfriend.
And the eldest miss of the Shai clan, no less.
Now that is massive news. He literally just broke up with his ex-girlfriend, View Ruyan.
Bai Yang's eyes lit up.
Excited, she said, Hey student, can you take me to Luo Ming's private booth?
Wang Yang nodded. Sure, but you have to tell us first. Who exactly did you come for?
Lu Ming, of course. Who else could it be?
Bang said with awe on her face.
He's the first ever triple-class Awakener in the history of Sinkai State.
He's even surpassed Gu Yumo from 30 years ago. What's more, he was personally handpicked by Ye Chang'an, the vice leader of the Tenshi Sacred Regiment.
He became an overnight legend at the awakening ceremony. Seriously, classmate, did your house just get internet access?
How could you not know this?
Just search his name online and you'll see.
Lu Ming is the absolute pride of our Singhai State.
You all should strive to be more like him.
Bai Ling pat to Rong Han on the shoulder. Meanwhile, Lin Muqing and Rong Han stood frozen like statues. Wait, since when did Luo Ming become so insanely powerful?
Meanwhile, inside the private booth,
The
door to the booth swung open. Ling Moqing Anheng walked in, looking completely dejected, with a crowd of reporters trailing right behind them.
You're back,
Luo Ming asked.
But the two of them looked completely deflated, like wilted plants after a harsh frost.
Bai Ling gestured for everyone to crowd around Luo Ming.
Cameras ready. Aim them at student Luo Ming.
Luo Ming was totally bewildered.
What on earth was going on?
An interview for Luo Ming?
Ling Moqing kept her head down and muttered softly. Why are they interviewing Luo Ming?
Did they make a mistake? If anyone should be interviewed, it should be him.
Focus on Xiu Chenkang first.
Lin Rong was completely bewildered.
He had absolutely no idea why. In the blink of an eye, both of them had suddenly turned into ostriches.
林秀素为草儿兔小前九是蓝草案，鹰巧。
Your little boyfriend is quite the celebrity, you know. But if these reporters found out who you really are,
would they just dump him on the spot and swarm over to interview you instead?
向警长10秒偏离。I don't think so.
Ling Wen did actually quite capable.
Besides, he's not my boyfriend.
He's just my tenant.
don't talk nonsense.
Fine. Whatever you say. He's just a tenant you live with.
Ming Susu was actually quite curious. If even Shai Chen-chong acknowledged his capabilities,
Could all that mocking about Ling Hun getting expelled and awakening a trash monster be a total lie?
It wasn't until now that the reporter finally got ready and asked her first question. Hello,
Classmate, Ling Hu.
as the first triple S class genius in the history of Xinghai Continent, is there anything you'd like to say to the students of Xinghai Continent who are about to take the college entrance exam? The moment those words were spoken, Ling Hong was completely dumbfounded on the spot.
Ling Susu's mouth also fell wide open in absolute shock.
Ling Hong is a triple S class awakener?
For real, is this actually happening?
Ling Hong stood there, frozen in disbelief. So when I said I was triple CAS, it was actually the truth. But they instantly assumed I was just bragging because of their own prejudice. Their deep-rooted arrogance made them refuse to believe that an orphan, someone who should be at their level or even lower, could suddenly reach such staggering heights.
Sun Yunyi's face turned bright red with sheer embarrassment.
The truth felt like a resounding slap, hitting him hard right across the face.
I didn't have to do a single thing, nor did I need to explain myself.
Because people like them aren't even worth wasting my breath on. I just have to stand right here, and countless people will scramble to get close to me. Even the reporters didn't hesitate to come all this way just to interview me.
As for Lin Makin, she was so consumed with shame that she wished the ground would swallow her whole.
She wanted to use her boyfriend to trample all over me, but instead I turned out to be the greatest genius in the history of Xinghai Continent. Her so-called genius boyfriend isn't even fit to carry my shoes.
Ronghe was even more dumbfounded.
He actually thought his own talent was outstanding, and had even bragged about giving me pointers later on. And just like that, with one word from them, his career is completely over.
Creek-san, this little boyfriend of yours, he's really no ordinary guy.
To think he's actually a triple S rank Wiener? Oh my god. A genius like him right here in Xinhai State? And I didn't hear a single thing about it.
Susu frantically shakes Cheng Shang's arm.
Sai Chingzhao shoots her a sideways glance. It's not like there was no news about him, even over in the imperial capital. His name was all I heard. Why else do you think I rushed all the way back here? It's your own fault for burying your face in video games all day. If you spent even 5 minutes scrolling through social media, you would have known. Meanwhile, I keep my eyes calm, looking straight into the camera, completely ignoring the shocked, regretful looks on everyone else's faces. Actually, there's something I've been wanting to say. To all the students gearing up for the college entrance exams, the host looks on expectantly, waiting to hear what the top genius of Xinhai State has to say. My journey must be incredibly inspiring. So here is a little tip. If you awaken a weak beast, don't be discouraged, because being discouraged won't change anything. And if you awaken a powerful beast, don't be arrogant, because arrogance won't change anything either. No matter how strong they are, they will never be as strong as me. So yeah, that's my story.
Sister Bai hurriedly turns around. Cut that part. Sister Bai, we're broadcasting live.
Haha, that is hilarious. This guy sure knows how to work a room. No matter how strong they are, they'll never be as strong as him. How did I never realize he was this narcissistic? Ming Susu shakes with laughter. Sechin Chao looks at her with concern, worried that she'll shake too hard and lose her balance. Ling Susu takes it as a joke. As a fellow triple S rank herself, Shai Qingzhou doesn't care either.
But to Wan Heng, those words cut deep, exposing his pathetic reality.
Wang Qing's face is filled with bitterness. He was right. No matter what I do, I will never be as strong as him. I'm destined to be crushed under his feet. There's no point in resisting. Meanwhile, Lin Hong lets out a deep sigh, overwhelmed with regret. If only I had treated him with kindness after he was rejected, instead of rushing to cut ties to save my own skin. When he eventually made it big, he might have pulled me up with him. Unfortunately, one wrong choice has made a world of difference. With the interview over, I return to my seat. The table is piled high with food, but Lin Hong's family and Wan Heng haven't touched a single bite. Since nobody is touching their food, I guess I'll start. A mocking gleam flashed in my eyes.
Tao Miao, please help yourselves.
Ling Hong hurriedly tried to flatter me, but I shook my head. I'm full. Uncle Lin, this meal was great.
But let's not do this again.
I sneered, putting down my chopsticks.
Ling Hong knew very well
that they had completely offended me.
江淼，有仰卧是王之是闹。
I apologize to you.
Yes, Tiana.
I apologize to you too. I shouldn't have mocked you like that. Classmate Diangang, it's my fault. I was blind not to recognize your greatness. Please, don't lower yourself to my level. Seeing me stand up, San Yuning and the other two scrambled to apologize. I scoffed. If apologies actually worked, why would we need the police? I swept a cold gaze over them. Uncle Lin, I call you Uncle Lin out of respect for your friendship with my parents. But after today, that friendship is dead. With that, I left the private room without looking back. Sai Ching-sung silently put down her chopsticks. What a pity. You just missed a lifetime opportunity to rise to the top.
But that's just how the world works. When you're simply not worthy of success,
you can't grasp good fortune, even when it lands right in your lap. She smiled faintly and pulled Ning Susu, who was still stuffing her face, out of the room. Let's go. We'll eat next door. I'll order a whole table, just for you. Ling Hong sat there, his face pale as sheet. With a helpless sigh, he muttered, Ruxuan, you raised a wonderful son. It turns out, I really am no match for you. Sai Yuning and the other two hung their heads, their eyes filled with lingering fear. After a moment, Wan Heng spoke up. Lin Moqing, let's break up. Lin Moqing stared at him in disbelief. Your family is nothing but bad luck. You actually made me offend Taogong.
if Xingang decides to go after me,
I am completely finished.
The man backing him is none other than the Nine Heavens Silver Dragon, Yexani.
Wang Ying's expression turned incredibly grim.
Wang Qian, you're overthinking it.
No matter what state my soul is in,
I've still got years of friendship with Luo Jai.
And I watched this kid, Jia Gang, grow up.
He wouldn't care about such a trivial matter. To someone like him? Uklikling isn't even worth pulling strings to threaten Ling Hong, let alone coldly berating him.
But then again, breaking up is for the best. Kuo-king needs to keep her eyes wide open when looking for a boyfriend in the future and spot bringing just any trash home.
great talent doesn't mean great character.
Li Mo-kang nodded dejectedly.
Who cares? Wang snorted, turning on his heel and storming off. Meanwhile, I was in the private booth next door. I'm really curious.
What exactly does the eldest miss of the prestigious Xiao clan from the imperial capital want by going out of her way to approach a poor student like me?
I asked. It's simple.
下秦传扬不当和乔喜。
I once tried to apprentice under Senior Yi Chang'an, but he turned me down. Yet, he came all the way to Xinghai just for you. He didn't even hesitate to kill a military commander.
Now, the three heroes of the Qing family in the imperial capital are targeting him in the military.
His situation is highly delicate right now.
Tingang, what on earth is so special about you that Senior Yi would go to such lengths to help you?
After all, I'm a triple S class awakener too.
I've never been second to anyone.
Her bright, starry eyes stared at me, filled with utter confusion.
So that's what this is about.
Miss Shao, you're jealous of me.
I chuckled softly. Sai King-chung suddenly stood up.
Her face instantly flushing red.
How could I possibly be? She stammered, highly agitated.
Senior Ji has his own reasons for doing what he did.
Why ask me?
How should I know? Maybe I'm just more to his liking.
I shrugged. That's impossible.
How could it be such a simple reason?
赛秦强今天
See? I tell you the truth, and you don't believe me.
Besides, if you want answers, you should ask him yourself.
Seeing her still staring at me stubbornly, I sighed. As the old saying goes, Nin Susu, who was gnawing on a chicken drumstick, suddenly piped up. When in doubt, fight it out! Why don't you two just fight it out?
Maybe after a good fight, Qingsheng will finally understand.
And yours truly can be the referee.
赛陈刚 thought about it for a moment.
Shusu is absolutely right.
陈哥, we can indeed have a match.
But if we duel, once the fight starts, I might not be able to hold back. And it would be bad if I ended up hurting you. How about this? Let's go outside the walls and hunt the monster ranked 45th on the Qingheizhou military hunt list. Specifically, the level 1 bronze flowing water frog. Let's see who can kill this beast first.
What do you say? If I win,
You have to tell me why Senior Yi chose you. And what if I win? There's no way you'll win. Then forget it. I'm not playing.
Sai Ching-chum gritted her teeth. Fine.
If you actually win, from now on, I'll be your loyal follower. If you tell me to go east, I will never go north.
Deal, it's a promise.
An amused smile flashed across my face.
夏秦强 froze.
Why does she feel like she just walked right into a trap?
Mrs. Su's jaw dropped as well.
学校秦强 loser. 事情是杯斯可搜了好说法。
If the Xia family in the imperial capital finds out about this, they will turn the whole world upside down. After leaving the restaurant, we headed straight to the Yushino military headquarters.
What? You want to go outside the walls?
No way, absolutely not.
Marushan shook his head like crazy. You should know how important you both are to Yanxia.
Right now, the most critical thing is the upcoming Yanxia University assessment.
Chief Mo, I know you're looking out for us, but I really don't think you need to worry. It's just a bronze tier beast.
It's nothing to me, Xiao Qingchang.
Sai Ching-chung's eyes narrowed slightly.
As a bone-chilling aura erupted from her.
The phantom of an ice phoenix flickered behind her back.
And the rank badge on her chest shockingly displayed black iron. 10th tier.
Yes, 10th tier of black iron.
Miss Shy.
If I remember correctly, it's only been about a month since your beast awakened, right?
Marushan looked completely shocked.
For me, the so-called level restrictions of the iron grade are completely negligible.
夏秦强赛直斯密斯。
Wow, that's amazing.
My Qingsheng is seriously the best.
Gususu clapped excitedly, jumping up and down. Susu, why are you making a scene again?
I am not.
Uncle Mo, I want to go outside the wall with Jin-chang too.
Min Susu said loudly. Baru Tian slapped his forehead, feeling a massive headache coming on.
Min Susu was the daughter of Ning Wen, the governor of Xinghai State.
Xinghai State was co-ruled by the civil governor and the military chief, and the governor held the ultimate authority.
It was no exaggeration to say
that Ning Susu was the little princess of Xinghai State.
Except this little princess's talent was utterly abysmal.
She had awakened an Earth-grade beast, the Iron-Eating Beast. With its goofy look, its only real quality, besides looking cute, was probably just eating.
If she goes outside the wall, the monsters out there will definitely be thrilled to have a free meal. No way! Are you kidding me?
Miss Shy has the actual strength to back it up.
But about you, what's your strength?
I ran rank 0.5.
Ming Susu tapped her head.
Striking a cute pose.
Doesn't that mean you haven't even formed a level mark yet?
Well, at least you're honest.
Mo Wuchuan was completely speechless.
An Earth-grade beast without a level mark was no different from a house cow.
洋洋 what about you?
What's your current level?
I know you defeated the level 5 Iron Grade Zhong Pao during the awakening ceremony, but you only have the strength of a level 5 Iron Grade. I can't let you go out there, adorning the little princess, Maruchan turned his gaze to me.
I remained silent for a moment. Level 1 Iron Grade.
No way. Absolutely not.
Idim Chachokam was holding back a laugh nearby.
Dumbbell, why don't you just play nice and admit defeat?
It'll save Chief Mo from worrying about your safety. I pondered for a moment.
Wait right here. Don't go anywhere.
Just give me a minute.
With that, I turned on my heel and walked out of the office, leaving them standing there, completely dumbfounded. I headed straight for the restroom,
Ducked into a stall and locked the door.
With a flick of my wrist, 3 vials of glowing red essence blood and 3 beast cores appeared in my hand. The essence blood and cores of a level 3 bronze rank beast. Infinite Devour. Activate!
My hand transformed into the maw of the legendary Touty.
And my claws instantly crushed the 3 vials of essence blood.
Normally, anyone else would have to dilute essence blood to absorb it.
They'd have to go through a tedious bathing process, and the absorption rate would still be horribly low. Even a triple rank talent can only absorb 80% of it, and beast cores require intensive purification. But in the face of my infinite Devour,
None of that matters.
As the 3 drops of essence blood fell onto my body, the Touty within me opened its furious crimson eyes. A terrifying suction force stripped the essence blood of its power, absorbing it completely in an instant, without wasting a single drop.
The energy rushed through me, tempering my entire body, bone by bone, muscle by muscle.
Next up, the beast cores. I tossed all 3 beast cores into my mouth and swallowed them whole.
Boom! A torrent of blood-red flames erupted.
A blinding red light enveloped the entire restroom,
Turning it into a crimson purgatory.
This is insane! Is this the true power of the Touty's infinite Devour?
I can feel my strength skyrocketing at a visible pace.
I stomped my foot down, and the floor tiles shattered instantly.
A blood-red phantom materialized behind my back, unleashing a roar that shook the heavens.
Iron rank 4!
I did it! These 3 vials of essence blood and cores just bumped me up 3 whole levels.
I activate my Tyrant Carnage mode. I shouldn't be any weaker than a level 10 Iron rank warrior.
But that's still not enough to completely crush them.
I flip my hand over.
And a vial of glowing, golden essence blood appeared.
This is the gold rank Blood Demon Wolf Essence Blood that Ye Chang'an gave me.
Normally with my current rank, trying to force absorb gold rank essence blood would result in a 99.9% chance of my body exploding. Xichang warned me to only use a single, heavily diluted drop at a time.
But I have infinite Devour.
Without hesitation, I crushed the vial. The moment the blood hit the air,
A thick, terrifying aura of sheer malice instantly enveloped the entire building.
the phantom of a blood-red wolf rose from the mist of the blood, glaring at me like a vicious predator.
As if it would tear me to shreds in the very next second.
What's going on?
Its murderous aura. Has a monster broken in?
Inside the office,
Morutin suddenly leaps to his feet. This violent aura. It definitely belongs to a gold-tier beast. Its strength is no weaker than his own.
Chief! Chief! A military soldier bursts into the room in a panic.
I know. Don't panic. Where is the source?
Come with me to check it out.
Then Matri wipes his hand authoritatively.
Striding down the corridor with Xiek Chenchun and the other close behind.
It seems to be coming from the restroom. The restroom? Mochushin freezes in disbelief. Does a monster seriously like having its lunch in the restroom?
As they reach the door of the south restroom, a scorching heat wave blasts out, accompanied by an earth-shattering roar. There is no mistake.
This pressure is definitely from a gold-tier monster.
Stand back! Marutin roars as he transforms. Blinding light envelops his body,
Turning him into a silver-armored warrior with the head of a wolf.
A crescent moon crest glows brightly on his forehead. Facing the beast, he commands. It is a gold-tier, 6th rank beast. Everyone fall back. He swings, unleashing a devastating slash as his sword flies from its scabbard, slicing the restroom door to pieces.
This is the Blood Ghost Wolf. Morucha stares in absolute shock at the phantom of a giant crimson wolf floating in midair. Chief Mo, stay back! I step out of the stall and confront the Blood Ghost Wolf face to face.
Its target is me. But it is just a dead beast.
You still think you can kill me?
Who do you think you are?
A cold sneer plays on my lips.
Only then does Moruchin realize that the Blood Ghost Wolf has no physical form.
It is merely a physical manifestation of pure, resentful energy.
Chaeyang, did you use the gold-tier essence blood that Deputy Commander Yu gave you?
Yes.
And now, I am going to absorb it.
I reply, calmly.
Are you out of your mind, Kenyang?
With your current strength.
Even a single drop of a gold-tier monster's essence blood would be enough to tear your body apart.
And yet, you dare to absorb an entire beast's worth?
Morrichin's face is written with pure disbelief.
夏晨窗恩林素素，不是的字子。胆量，Have you gone crazy?
Even if you want to level up, you don't have to go to such extremes.
Sai Chenjung's face turns pale with dread.
Just sit back and watch. I stared at the snarling Blood Ghost Wolf, a smirk playing on my lips. Want to kill me? Want to devour me? Then bring it on. Otherwise, you're the one getting eaten. Enraged, the Blood Ghost Wolf roared.
A wave of pure malice surged as crimson light burst forth, and the wolf lunged straight at me. Toshi, come forth.
I burst into wild laughter. My eyes turned a deep, bloody red. Behind my back, the crimson phantom of the Tadi materialized. It opened its massive, bloody maw
and swallowed me whole. The very space trembled.
Thick, blood-red flames enveloped me completely.
Waves of raw energy swept through the area like a hurricane.
As the crimson light finally faded,
My towering, 3-meter-tall form stood revealed.
I was so massive my head almost crushed the ceiling.
Saishanang's eyes widened in sheer shock.
Seeing this in person was 100 times more terrifying than any video.
Even her own Ice Phoenix and Fire Phoenix trembled under this overwhelming aura.
This is the unrecorded triple-class monster, the Touty.
I took a massive step forward. I slammed my fist right toward the Blood Ghost Wolf's head.
Then, the hideous close-eyed head on my chest suddenly snapped its giant maw wide open.
Its eyes flashed with blood-red light as glowing runes spread across its face.
A terrifying suction force swept out like a tempest, completely trapping the Blood Ghost Wolf. How is this possible? He's actually trying to swallow the Blood Ghost Wolf whole.
Maruchan and the others were utterly dumbfounded. This was the absolute, overbearing, devouring power of the toady. The Blood Ghost Wolf let out a desperate, unwilling wail and dissolved into a stream of crimson energy, surging directly into my body.
My aura began to skyrocket at an unbelievable speed.
Until my rank indicator finally changed. The crimson light faded, revealing my new rank. Black Iron 10th.
I deactivated my transformation and looked over.
Commander Mole, do I have the right to go beyond the wall now?
I scratched my head with a faint smile.
Maruchan was frozen in sheer disbelief.
He swallowed a gold-class beast's essence blood in one single gulp, and instantly skyrocketed to the Black Iron 10th Order. That's a level that even many sophomores can't reach, and he has only been awakened for less than 3 days. At this moment, he finally understood that the gap between a genius and an ordinary person is an insurmountable chasm. Who dares to say that talent doesn't determine one's limit?
He marched right up and slapped him hard across the face, twice. To a real genius, his absolute worst is already your absolute limit.
King An, I think I am starting to understand why Senior Yi saw something in you.
三千层盖子复可。
But I am not giving up.
I, Xiaqingtong, have never let anyone look down on me. Not once in my... A flash of fire and icy frost flared in her eyes before vanishing. His Ice Phoenix Anhuang actually has 2 different forms.
Meanwhile, Min Susu was jumping around like an idiot, cheering at the top of her lungs. All right, Tiangang. I'll allow you and Xiaqingkeng to go beyond the wall.
but both of you are our Yan.
Saya's brightest talents.
I need to protect you from the shadows. Is that all right with you?
Maruchan asked, his voice grave.
I thought it over and nodded.
All right.
That works. Thank you for the trouble.
Oh yeah, that means I get to go out and play too.
Bing Suhu squealed in excitement.
谢行长给喝茶的箭头塔。
We aren't going out to play. It is incredibly dangerous outside the wall. We're already staying within 3 kilometers of the wall. If we go any further, we'll run into powerful monsters.
Susu, do you have any idea how many elite squads are completely wiped out beyond the wall every single year?
Those soldiers didn't shed their blood for nothing. This is serious.
Do not treat this like a vacation.
Okay, I'm sorry.
King Chang, I was wrong.
Von Susu held her head, looking deeply apologetic.
The military teleportation array in Naiju lit up with a brilliant blue glow.
And just like that, the 4 of us vanished. The teleportation array took us straight to the Yangtze military outpost.
These outposts formed a defensive ring surrounding the entire wall.
If the wall is ever breached,
This place will be the first to fall.
the 36 domains and 72 states all have their own designated territories within the outpost.
And Morechin led us out of the teleportation array. A chilling, violent aura rushed over us.
The air here felt heavy, almost suffocating. Right then, Ning Susu's eyes widened in shock.
The outpost was separated from the ruins by only a single wall.
下且强王气，新起和桥口的，一把我的。
During that new moon beast tide, the Yangtze soldiers fought tooth and nail, carving a path straight through 100 miles of ruins.
The very earth was paved with blood. Bodies littered the ground as far as the eye could see.
That bloody, gruesome scene was burned into his memory forever.
Boom, boom, boom! The very ground began to tremble. Just ahead, giant beasts standing over 10 meters tall marched in a single file line.
They carried massive, thick spears in one hand and gripped giant shields in the other.
Their white armor was rusted and stained with the dried blood of countless species.
But in their beastly eyes, you could see a fierce, unbreakable resolve.
Their muscles were constantly tensed, always ready to tear into battle at a moment's notice.
These are hunter beasts, a C-class monster.
They're known for their massive size and raw, overwhelming power.
But their growth potential is extremely limited. Many people who awaken this beast form
Have to stay in their monster forms day and night just to patrol the borders.
Over time, they lose themselves, completely forgetting whether they're human or beast.
夏训就是北训古黑兵。
They are nothing but cannon fodder, sent to the front lines whenever the astral moon beast tide hits.
Their only purpose is to defend this city with their lives. A heavy weight settled in my chest. People always talked about how cruel this world was. Living safely behind the walls, I never realized the danger. Only now, standing here, do I realize how incredibly naive I've been.
This place is absolute purgatory. The stench of blood hangs thick in the air. Outside those walls, the deafening roars of monsters never stop.
Countless beasts claw at the barriers, desperate to break through, and turn humanity into nothing more than their next meal. Let's go.
We need to head to the teleportation array.
Okay, Rental, led the way.
Beyond the array, there's nothing but ruins.
Once we're through, you'll finally see the true, brutal face of this world with your own eyes.
Handing a map to Xiao Qingkang, he said. The beast you're hunting, the torrent frog, is located at a lake about 3 kilometers outside the city.
But unless your lives are on the line,
I will absolutely not step in to help you.
Saichenjang nodded silently.
In an instant, both of our figures vanished into the teleportation array.
Meanwhile, hidden in the tall grass near the ruined lake, 3 mercenaries lay in ambush.
Boss, are you sure this torrent frog will actually take the bait?
Of course it will. The torrent frog's absolute favorite food is fish.
and this delicious Tier 3 black iron fish has the sweetest meat. It's irresistible to them.
Once we lure it out of the water, its strength drops to barely 10 or 20%. When that happens, this beast, ranked 45th on the bounty hunt list, will be ours for the taking. You see, in this monster-ravaged era, the requirements to join the military were incredibly steep.
Because of this, mercenary groups began popping up everywhere.
These people cared only about profit.
They were ruthless, cunning, and completely untrustworthy. They'll even scavenge dead bodies right on the battlefield, earning them the nickname Battlefield Wild Dogs. They are absolutely loathed by everyone. Suddenly, the water surface begins to churn violently. The next second, a massive blue creature leaps out.
The aquafrog beast is 3 meters long.
With a tongue that can stretch over 10 meters, it can manipulate water, and its outer body is covered in slime that can block close-range attacks.
It's here! Hide!
The aquafrog beast is extremely alert.
Don't let it spot us.
The team leader, Liu Li, whispers.
However, they underestimated the monster. It can sense any threat simply through the movement of the air. Ribbit. The frog beast roars.
Its crimson tongue shoots out like a sharp sword.
It's blindingly fast. How did it find us?
The 3 of them turn pale with horror.
One young man's head is pierced clean through by its tongue, on the spot.
With a violent yank of its tongue, the beast drags him back and swallows him whole. It pats its stomach,
Its eyes filled with utter mockery. Brother, run! Get out of here, now!
Liu Li grabs the other person and flees in a panic.
The aquafrog beast doesn't panic at all. With a single leap, its massive shadow looms over them both.
Hurry! We're doomed!
I'm going to die here.
Just then, a streak of blue light slices through the air.
A majestic ice blue frost phoenix appears, its feathers like fine silk, radiating a chill like 1,000-year-old ice. An expert. The 2 of them gasped in shock.
Fall back! Xiao Qingkang commands them.
Lily grabs her companion, and they scramble behind a large tree to watch the battle.
Glacial prism spikes.
The frost phoenix flaps its wings as freezing air condenses into ice spikes, shooting straight at the beast. She's so strong.
Even though this frost phoenix is only a black iron rank 10,
Its strength is not a single bit weaker than a bronze tier monster. Luli stares in absolute shock. If he kills the torrent frog beast, we won't get a single share of the reward. I spent over 10,000 credits just buying those delicious fish as bait, and we even lost a teammate. To walk away with absolutely nothing? That's just unacceptable. A flicker of resentment and greed flashed in Liuli's eyes. Why couldn't he have come earlier? If he had just arrived a little sooner,
My brother wouldn't have died.
another youth, Sun Yan, yelled, his eyes bloodshot with rage.
these mercenaries were truly despicable.
下前草，下旧鞋者了。
Yet one only cared about his lost profits,
while the other actually blamed her savior for arriving too late. With its prey having escaped, the torrent frog beast flew into a violent rage. But then it realized that the ice phoenix was an even better prey. Its ice-attributed power would be incredibly nourishing for it. It launched a furious assault, whipping its tongue like a massive lash toward Jia Chengsheng. At the same time, it spat out a stream of highly corrosive purple venom. The venom was immensely powerful.
Sai Qingsheng's ice spikes melted instantly upon contact.
The strength of this torrent frog beast was definitely not bronze tier 1.
Sai Qingtang found herself in imminent mortal danger.
The pressure on her intensified instantly.
a sinister light flashed in the torrent frog's eyes as the river behind it began to boil. 4 massive water tornadoes erupted into the sky, hurtling towards Sai Chang from 4 different directions.
This was its ultimate lethal move.
The intelligence they gathered was completely wrong. Its actual level, with bronze tier 3.
A look of panic crossed Jia Chengzhong's phoenix-like eyes.
Seriously, what was the point of rushing in so blindly?
You can't even beat it. A familiar voice echoed. Transforming into a towering blood-red figure, I charged forward at lightning speed and leaped high into the air. Then, with a heavy thud, I stepped right onto her back.
Ah, Lu Ming, how dare you step on me?
Sai Chingchang screamed in sheer embarrassment and anger. I was just using you as a springboard. I see.
Don't sweat the details.
In an instant, I shot forward like a meteor, hurtling toward the water columns.
A savage, brutal aura flared,
And a terrifying power exploded outward.
blood-red flames seared the air, and throwing a punch with my toady fist from afar, I blew the massive water columns to absolute pieces with a single strike.
Weak. Way too weak. This isn't even enough to tickle me. The water flow monster frog's eyes flash with pure shock. It strikes again, sending massive pillars of water churning and surging into the air, slamming right toward me as I hang in midair.
Kick velocity.
I activate the talent I stole from Zheng Peng.
My speed instantly skyrockets.
Take this! Aura!
My fists fly in a blur, smashing every single water column to pieces. Without slowing down for a second,
I charge straight at the monster frog.
A blinding golden light erupts from my body.
The spectral shadow of a golden rock flashes behind me.
It feels as if I've grown massive golden wings, becoming the absolute ruler of the skies. In the blink of an eye, I'm right in front of the beast. I unleash my full power and bring my fist crashing down. The monster frog is frozen in sheer terror. My fist smashes its head into a bloody pulp.
I exhale a long breath, letting the tension fade.
The terrifying head on my chest opens its maw and drinks down every single drop of the monster's blood. I pull out the beast core and beast jed, deactivating my transformation.
And not far away,
Sai Qingshao is staring at me with a deeply complicated look on her face.
Sai Qingchang,
I won. I wave my spoils of war in front of her.
I grin. She sighs. I lost.
Congratulations, Diangang.
Sai Qingchang nods. Honestly, if I hadn't stepped in,
He would have been dead. Or at least severely crippled.
But a loss is a loss.
Then you'd better keep your word.
Of course.
I always keep my promises.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saving us.
From behind a massive tree, Lily and Saman step out.
Lily's squinty eyes lock onto the beast jade and beast core in my hand, absolutely filled with greed. After all, every part of a waterflow monster frog is a treasure, plus the military reward. It's worth at least nearly $100,000. It's more than enough to make him plot something dirty. Thank you so much for saving us.
We really truly appreciate it.
The two of them bow deeply, looking incredibly grateful. I shrug nonchalantly. Don't mention it.
It was no trouble at all. You two must be exhausted. Are you thirsty? I've got some water here. Oh, and there's also this waterflow monster, frog. Let us help you carry it back. Let us help you carry it back. Even a corpse can be sold for good money. But Sun Yan carried the corpse over anyway. We can't let our two saviors do this kind of grunt work.
Yule quickly handed over a small flask of water pouch beast extract.
This stuff is incredibly refreshing. It's a basic survival supply.
Thanks, but we're good. Sa Qingchang waved her hand.
It was common sense not to drink anything from a stranger in the ruins, especially when those strangers were mercenaries.
What? You worried we poisoned it?
No, we would never do something like that. You guys literally just saved our lives.
Yui hurriedly explained. Come on.
They mean well. Let's not reject their kindness. I snatched 2 flasks, tossed one to Sai Qingchang, and gave her a wink. I'm freaking dying of thirst here. Fighting that mutant frog left my throat bone dry.
I unscrewed the cap and downed it in one gulp.
Give me another one. Right away. Please, savior, don't be shy. I've got plenty more right here. Lily pulled out a few more flasks. I downed 3 of them in a row. Only then did I feel satisfied. So, how do our saviors feel? Lily rubbed his hands together, wearing a greasy, creepy smile. Not bad. This water of yours is absolutely It's got a nice, subtle hint of poison in it. I nodded with satisfaction.
Glad you like it.
Wait, what did you say? Poison?
Philia was utterly dumbfounded. Wait, bro.
You actually tasted it? Sun Yan was completely stunned too. Yeah, I said casually. To be exact, I knew the second I took my first sip.
But honestly, I was just too damn thirsty.
So I didn't care. Yui Hai had a certain choice word on the tip of his tongue, but wasn't sure if he should spit it out.
You tasted it too? He spun around to look at Xia Qizhang.
小千长秀个海。
She opened her mouth and spat out a piece of ice. It had been frozen solid. I smiled faintly. Actually, the way mercenaries like you think is incredibly simple. You just want the corpse of the flowing water mutant frog in my hands. And its core. So you can sell them for cash, right? Hey, humans die for wealth, just like birds die for food. So, I just decided to play along with your little game. After all, I possess the Toddy's infinite devouring talent. To me, deadly poison is nothing more than a great nutritional supplement.
It doesn't affect me at all.
So, what are you waiting for? Come on, try and kill me.
I'm poisoned. I spread my arms and staggered toward Lulei.
My blood boiling, steam rising from my body. A violent, savage aura filled the air, leaving Lulei utterly exasperated. You call this being poisoned? I wouldn't believe that, even if you beat me to death.
Sun Yan roared.
Sun Yan froze,
immediately slamming the monster frog's carcass onto the ground before spinning around to bolt. Think you can run? My body blurred, bashing forward. Freeze! Chachinko waved her delicate hand, and 2 ice walls over 10 meters high completely blocked their path. They blasted out with all their might, both of the auras surging violently. The class Meinster, the sky-piercing rat, and the class Meinster, the giant green python, slammed their heads hard against the ice wall. The rat began to burrow into the ground. Its speed was just too slow. I descended from the sky like a meteor, stomping my foot heavily right onto the sky-piercing rat's head. I threw a shockwave punch from afar, smashing the giant green python's head until its brain was ringing. With one final move, both level 9 black iron monsters were beaten back into their human forms. No. Please, don't kill me. We are mercenaries from Shinon Tech. The 2 of them trembled as they begged for mercy.
Chenak. I frowned.
This was a major local enterprise in Xinhai State that specialized in the monster industry. They had many mercenary teams under their payroll. Then Shinek was notoriously protective of their own.
If you kill us,
Chen Tak will never let you get away with it.
He hurriedly blurted out, thinking she had finally grabbed onto a lifeline.
Is Chen Sek really that powerful?
How come I didn't know?
not far away, Mo Richan approached, leading Ning Susu over.
Exactly. Think. Don Henshin, the chairman of Chenantech, just came to visit my dad a few days ago.
Ming Susu nodded. Chenak. Never heard of them.
I've only heard of Yanhong and Tech.
Uncle Time and my dad are very close.
虾蟹强五骂开除的害也。
Yulai flows right there, completely speechless.
Who doesn't know Chief Mo?
Ming Susu is the governor's daughter.
Even the chairman of Chenantech has to personally receive her.
As for Shou Qincheng,
Yahamkuk is the top enterprise in Yanxia.
And Taiyin Yanhong is a legendary figure. The only one ever awarded the rank of War King despite never joining the military.
Yet this girl claims that Tang Yahong is close friends with her father.
Just what kind of backgrounds do these young people have?
Yulai is trembling with pure terror.
Loya, Sunyan, you two have some nerve.
How dare you poison the prodigies of Yanxia?
Mo Rutian strides over.
He glares with fierce eyes. Do you have any idea who these two are?
One is Cao Chenshou, the daughter of the prestigious Cao clan in the imperial capital.
The other is Tiangang, a triple-class awakener and the greatest genius in the history of our Xinghai state.
You dared to poison the two of them?
No one in all of Yanxia can save you now.
The two of them turn pale as death.
This time, they've truly run straight into a brick wall.
Chief Mo, execute them.
I speak calmly. Do it.
With a wave of Mo Rushan's hand.
Their heads burst instantly under his grip.
Well, are you satisfied now?
I nod. Yes.
Since that's the case, I declare Tinan the winner of this round.
Mauritian looks on in shock, having witnessed the Taoti's terrifying devouring ability and explosive power.
No way, Chunshou.
From today on, you are Tiangong's personal maid, Nin Susu says with an exaggerated expression. The eldest daughter of the imperial capital's prestigious Cao family, lost to a young man from Xinhai state.
If this news gets out, her suitors in the imperial capital will come and poison Xinhai state to death.
What? Personal maid. What utter nonsense.
Well, it's basically the same thing anyway. Ning Susu giggles like a fangirl.
I'm not surprised by this at all.
Dipter was always within my expectations. Let's go. Since this has been settled, we should head back quickly.
Staying in the wilderness for too long is highly dangerous, Mo Ruchen says.
But when we return to the camp, we find the place unexpectedly bustling with activity.